We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a
hands-on and invested throughout the entire process. Thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia? We've got the tri-state area covered.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ever try to collect on an insurance claim? Perhaps a homeowner's claim, auto accident, or fire. Insurance companies collect money from you for protection should something bad happen. And when it does, they don't want to pay, or they offer too little. At Mansion Ferretti, we have an attorney who worked defending insurance companies and knows all the dirty tricks they play to deny or lowball your claim. Call us today for help in getting what you really deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda of Winchester, Jason Barrett for State Senate, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and the Heffley Motor Company. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
This Halloween weekend 2022, we welcome you to what some people have referred to as the most haunted town in America, Shepherdstown, West Virginia, on the campus of Shepherd University. The 3-5 Bloomsburg Huskies entered Ram Stadium to face what could be their worst nightmare, the undefeated Shepherd University Rams. A lot is riding on this matchup as Shepherd, with a win, clinches the PSAC East. It's Senior Day, it's Military Appreciation Day, and we're happy to bring it all to you here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me is Travis Smith, our crew today. Daryl Miller on camera, along with Dylan Bishop and Braden Schaffner, and Colin McLaughlin, our on-site producer. Back in the studio is Spencer Dupuis. Travis, it's a tall task for Bloomsburg. Definitely an underdog today are the Huskies, but the underdog might even be an understatement based on some of the scores we've seen so far, and it'll be a tough challenge going up against this Shepherd team.
And Bloomsburg coming in off of a difficult loss last week. They lost to East Stroudsburg 21-27, a close game, and they lost that one late. So you realize that they're going to have to bounce back against the team right now that's just hitting on all cylinders in these Shepherd Rams. Rams coming off of a big win last week versus Westchester, 47-14 over the Golden Rams. And the Shepherd Rams, that's probably one of the best offensive performances that we've seen out of that group, especially on the offensive side of the ball, the way that they were able to stay balanced. And when I say balanced, it's not so much that they were able to run the ball and pass the ball equally, but they were able to get the ball and spread it around to all of their playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. And again, the running game and the passing game, when they're able to help each other out like that, this is a very difficult Shepherd Rams team to defeat. Also, the defense flying around, creating turnovers. So right now, just Bloomsburg just coming in, and maybe they can steal something early on, being senior day and all that. But Shepherd right now, they're just playing very good football, and they're going to be a difficult out for anybody right now at this point.
Yeah, the last few weeks, Shepherd's just been able to get that run and pass balance, and we saw at times early in the season when the run game was really dominant, but the passing game didn't really have to do much. And then there was other moments in the season where the passing game was just what carried Shepherd to wins, and they really never got anything going on the ground. But that balance has been a big key to this offense's success. And you look at Bloomsburg's season so far, 3-5, have had some competitive games like last week against East Stroudsburg, but you look at some key things like only a 17-9 win over Lockhaven, and of course Shepherd beat Lockhaven 72-7. So, on paper, this is looking like a game that Shepherd should dominate. The focus should be there because, like we said, it's senior day. It's Military Appreciation Day. A win puts you as the PSAC East champions. So Shepherd has a lot on the line today, but Bloomsburg is playing with really nothing to lose, if you look at it that way, Travis.
And that's always a dangerous situation, so you're going to have to be ready for some trick plays. They're going to be pulling out everything out of their bag to try to get a win today. And like you mentioned, on paper, this should be a blowout, but you think back to that Millersville game, especially in that first half, Shepherd possibly overlooking the Marauders, and it was a difficult contest early on. Millersville was really up for that game, and Shepherd always has to keep in mind they're everybody's Super Bowl. So everybody has that game circled on their calendar, and everybody's going to give Shepherd their absolute best. So Shepherd's going to have to come in focused and really take care of business early on. And again, like you said, Bloomsburg, they're playing with house money. Nobody's expecting them to win, and I'm sure that's the message that the coaching staff is giving to that team before they take the field. Nobody's expecting anything out of you, and when you have a team with their back against the wall, sometimes you can really have some dangerous competition out there on the field.
It is another freshman quarterback that we will see go up against this talented young Shepherd defense that has shown a lot of great flashes early in the season. And K.J. Riley, a freshman standing at 6'2", 197 pounds, more of a running quarterback, similar to some of the guys Shepherd has already faced this season, like last week against Westchester, and Shippensburg earlier in the year had a freshman quarterback as well. So another young quarterback. It's a young Shepherd defense, but they play like a veteran defense based on what we've seen so far, Travis.
That front unit, especially in the front seven, they have gelled tremendously the way the season has played. That was something that we looked at, and there was going to be a lot of question marks around that group because you're losing so much, not so much production, but you're also losing leadership. You had the man in the middle for so many years in Chris Lane, and to me, that was one of the biggest question marks for me coming in is not only who are you going to be able to replace with that production, but who's going to be that leader on that group. And we've seen so far that Devin Lynch has really stepped up into that role. Also, Dwayne Grantham has really stepped up into that role. We're still trying to figure some things out as far as in the defensive backfield because, again, you have some big names to replace back there in Antonio Fox and Ponce de Leon, and having some experienced safeties like that allowed that Shepherd unit to do a lot up front. But this year, a little bit different, and we've seen some different things out of that defensive unit for Shepherd because not only, they can get pressure with their front four, but they're starting to bring some exotic blitzes. We saw last week where they sent a safety in on a blitz. So the defensive coordinator is really dialing it up for his guys because he has a ton of athletes on that side of the ball. Looking at Bloomsburg, we mentioned that young quarterback. Coming into today's game, he's connected on 58.5% of his passes so far this year, 828 yards with 8 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And like you mentioned, he can get it done on the ground as well. Has 50 carries for 183 yards. It's only 3.6 yards per carry, but you also have to factor in that he's been sacked a few times, so that's going to knock down his numbers somewhat. But he's coming off of a good game last week versus East Stroudsburg. He went 13 for 21 on the day. That's over 61% of his passes, had 181 yards, also threw for a touchdown. He also carried the ball successfully, 8 carries for 37 yards. So Shepherd, they've had a couple young quarterbacks that have been able to scramble and break contain a little bit. So they've had a lot of opportunity to see what they need to do to neutralize guys like that. Now they're going to have another opportunity to go out on the field and prove it today.
All right, well, we will take our first 2-minute break here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 305-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook.
When I was in high school, I was a troubled kid. Hannah Geffert took me into her family and treated me like her son. Today, I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a college graduate, and have a successful job. Hannah Geffert doesn't just talk about caring for children, she does it. She did it for me. Vote to keep Hannah Geffert as your state senator. She will take care of you too.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. We're now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, big win for you guys over Westchester. What were some things you took away from the win?
One, going on the road against a really good football team like Westchester and finding a way to win was very, very satisfying. And I thought our team played very well in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. I think we applied pressure. I think we handled the pressure and handled any kind of adversity we had the right way. Hopefully we'll continue to build on that from that because it was a great game for us.
And you mentioned getting that kind of quality win against a program that typically has a lot of success, but not only to beat them, but to beat them by multiple scores. That's got to show where your program is at this point in the season, really clicking.
I think it's the fact that we put a good game together last week, and each week we have to prepare to try and achieve that kind of game plan, execute that kind of game plan that we did last week. This week's a new challenge, different looks, different personnel, but last week's game was very satisfying.
Your offense continued to have that success with the balance between the run and the pass. And early in the game, it seemed like they were having some success stopping your rushing attack. But late in that game, you really saw, I guess, the results of keeping with the run, and that allowed Blake and Ronnie to have some big touchdown runs late.
Well, I think the fact that we are balanced, we can be very difficult to defend. That we can throw the ball with the efficiency that we have gives us the ability to have the run game. So the fact that we can do both effectively, I think helps our football team and will help us continue to compete as we go on this year. Very pleased with the fact that we have great balance. Very pleased with the way we're able to run the football and throw the football and protect the quarterback. But we've got to get better each week. We did have mistakes last week, things we have to be better at, and we're working on them right now.
And 3 guys that stood out for you in that win, all local guys. Tyson Bajan being an Offensive Player of the Week this week, Dwayne Grantham Defensive Player of the Week, and Blake Hartman scoring 2 touchdowns. So what's it like to see the local success on your football team?
I talk about it. We want to have a culture where the guys that are local guys feel comfortable coming here and playing football. They appreciate it. We have a great core of Eastern Panhandle guys playing football for us. So I'm really, really happy to see them have success. They contribute. We all knew they were all good players when we recruited them. I think you're seeing a lot of guys have a lot of success locally. We have to be good regionally if we're going to be successful.
Bloomsburg this week, senior day for your team. What has this senior class kind of meant to this program?
Well, it's a pretty exciting senior class. I mean, guys have suffered through COVID, the shutdown, that have stuck through things. They're a great group of kids. You want to do it right for them. You want them to have a great day. You want to celebrate their careers at Shepherd University. But it is a sad day when you lose some. And lose these guys and realize that the end of their careers is coming, but that's football. Have a great appreciation for all those seniors, and we want to do things the right way for them.
I know for you, Coach, you probably look at all of them as kind of your sons in some ways, but your actual son, Michael, will be playing his final home game. What's it mean to you to just see him come through this program and just develop as a football player?
I've reflected on it quite a bit because he was born the year I came here, and he's only grown up knowing Shepherd University football. A lot of guys when they're young dream of going to Penn State, West Virginia, playing. I think Michael's dream has always been to play here for the Rams, and he's living his dream, and I'm really happy that he's been able to have the success that he's had. His mom and I are both proud of him. Our family's proud of him, and I'm glad he has the opportunity to be in this program. And make the friends that he's made. This is a great group of kids in this group, and I'm really proud of them all.
And then last one here, Coach. Bloomsburg, what are some things you guys will have to do to get the win on Saturday?
We have to play to our level of football. We have to play Shepherd football. Don't try and play their game. We dictate how we're going to play, and we play extremely hard. We don't look at the scoreboard, don't look at the clock, just try and execute at a high level, make the ordinary play extraordinary, and, put it together for all 4 quarters.
That concludes our coach interview brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Hi, it's Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Spencer Dupuis. When I got into a car accident and needed to get another vehicle, I wanted to go somewhere I could trust. So I went to the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road.
As a first-time car buyer, I really didn't know what to expect. But at Heffley, they treated me like family. Every step in the process was seamless. Not only did they give me a great deal, but they also helped me secure an amazing interest rate. Now I know firsthand why Heffley has such a great reputation in this community.
I ride with Heffley Motor Company, so you should too.
Your master's degree is as close as Shepherd University. Shepherd's graduate programs are perfect for working adults and will prepare you for the next step in your career. Choose from several degrees perfect for educators, an accredited MBA program, and a master's degree in Appalachian Studies. Visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio to get started today. Finish your master's or pursue a doctorate in nursing practice. To learn more, visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium on the campus of Shepherd University as we continue here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Travis, we look at this matchup and this Bloomsburg team, as we mentioned, 3-5, have been pretty battle-tested, have been competitive at times this season, but it's a big test for them today. And, you know, we mentioned the young quarterback for Bloomsburg and a lot of inexperience around him, not a whole lot of veterans on that offense. Chris Monaco, who's listed as the starting defensive back, has been their leading rusher this season. When you look at the two deep, they list Nas Jones as, or I'm sorry, Caleb Monaco, starting running back for them. But you know, he's been their guy on the ground this year.
He has been, but that will be a question coming into today's game: is will he be able to play? His last game was against Lockhaven. That was back on October 15th, where he had 15 carries for 95 yards, also had 2 catches for 18 yards in that contest. And like you mentioned, he is one of their better players on that offensive side of the ball. In 2021, he was named All PSAC East second team. But again, a big question mark as to whether his services will be available. And if you're looking over on that defensive side of the ball, they do have some talent on that defensive side of the ball, particularly in that defensive backfield. You look at Quentin Gaskell at defensive back. The 6-foot, 190-pound junior was named 2021 All PSAC East first team. And this season, he's gotten off to a red-hot start as well. Already has 71 tackles, 53 of those solo, 2 tackles for a loss because he's got 2 sacks. He also has 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, and 11 pass breakups. So expect to hear his name called a lot today, and they're really going to rely on that defense to create some plays. And not only that, they're going to need to create some turnovers because that offensive unit, they're going to need an extra possession if they're looking to put up some points and keep pace with that vaunted Shepherd Rams offensive attack.
The seniors being called out currently for Shepherd, and it doesn't look like Monaco is going to be able to play. Chris Monaco, his brother, will play in the secondary, but Nas Jones appears to be the starting running back today, the 6'3", 230-pound sophomore. So more of a power back, and that will be kind of Bloomsburg's look offensively. And then some guys that have stood out to us so far for the Shepherd team this year. Obviously, Ronnie Brown leading the PSAC in yards per carry, toward the top of the nation in that category. Quarterback Tyson Bajan, we talk about him all the time. The Harlan Hill winner has gotten off to a great start, and then the receivers have really played well. And Marlon Cook, Kenny Edlin, Ryan Beach, just a ton of playmakers on that offense, and senior Brian Walker at tight end as well. So it's a high-powered Shepherd offense, as Walker, one of the guys being announced right now to walk out, but they just continue to really, it seems like, get better each and every week, too, offensively with that balance that they've been able to establish.
And you mentioned that running game. Of course, we know Ronnie Brown is that explosive playmaker running the ball, but somebody else that has emerged as a threat in that run game has been Tyson Bajan. That is something that he has really shown that aspect of his game in previous years. Really hasn't had to. Not that he's needed to this year, but one thing that the defenses have been doing against him is playing a lot of man coverage out on the perimeter. So sometimes when those wide receivers are able to run off that man coverage, that's creating vast swaths of space on the field, and Tyson Bajan is athletic enough to run downfield and make that happen. He does have 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. So, again, just the senior stepping up, showing all aspects of his game this year. And we mentioned Ronnie Brown. He's only 45 yards away from having 1,000 yards on the season, averaging nearly 9.1 yards a carry, 10 TDs, running the ball. Also has a couple of TDs catching the ball. He's a very dangerous wide receiver out of the backfield with 30 catches, 352 yards. So you're looking at this Rams offense. There's a lot to be worried about. You got the quarterback, you got the running back, you got the wide receivers in Cook and Beach. You also have Brian Walker at the tight end position, who's really been dominant over those hash marks to really put a lot of pressure on those defenses. So now they're not able to just drop those safeties out and take care of the deep stuff on the perimeter. Now they have to keep somebody in the middle of the field to take care of that tight end, because he's a difficult matchup for any type of linebacker that's going to try to take him 10 and 15 yards down the field.
Let's highlight some of these seniors being honored today, Travis. We'll start with some offensive linemen, Adam Stilley and Joey Fisher. Those two guys were the only returning offensive linemen heading into the season. They return, and, of course, it is their senior day here today, and both have been big impact players. Stilley, a transfer from West Virginia University. Joey Fisher originally started his career committed to Maryland, but coaching changes there and some other fallouts. He ended up at Towson, I believe, for a little bit, and then came here to Shepherd, and Shepherd's been very lucky to have both those guys on the offensive line.
And again, we mentioned the large amount of turnover that we had on the defensive side of the ball, and it was definitely a changing of the guard, so to speak, on the offensive line, losing a lot of experience. There was a lot of seniors, a lot of grad students on that unit last year, but that's something that Shepherd has proven the quality of their program over the years is how they're able to reload with those offensive linemen. We all know you can get those skilled guys, but that's really not going to matter if you don't have the big uglies up front doing all the dirty work. And the Rams, they go out, they recruit a specific kind of man to fill those positions. They're not big maulers. They're not going to blow you off the ball, but what they do very well is that they're skilled, they're athletic, and they have a high football IQ. And that's something that's always going to be useful in the football field is when you got a big guy and he can move and he's also smart and knows where to go. That's why you see that offense able to be so productive over the years. It's because of that quality, that high-quality offensive line play that the Rams are able to put out there year in and year out.
They are listing Marlon Cook as a senior here on the 2 deep, but he actually has another year of eligibility, so I don't believe he is being honored today. But we just saw Tyson Bagent being the last man there, obviously arguably the greatest player to come through Shepherd University when it's all said and done. One of the best ever. And, of course, tight end Brian Walker, another senior on this group. Michael McCook at fullback. And defensively Kyle Smith, one of the big key seniors that were honored today. But we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will hear from 2 players that are not seniors but have played good football this season for Shepherd, and Emilio Pena, the linebacker, and Blake Hartman, the running back, who's been in the end zone each and every week over the last 3 weeks with 4 touchdowns in 3 weeks. So we'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll hear from those players.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, Go Bulldogs.
I'm Jason Barrett. I'm running for state senate because I believe it's time to build an even better West Virginia. That starts with a less burdensome tax policy, reliable internet service, a strong education system, and a robust tourism industry. I believe this building starts right here in Jefferson and Berkeley counties.
I ask for your support and your vote on November 8th.
Paid for by Friends of Jason Barrett.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Visit us at Orr's Farm Market, just 5 miles west of Martinsburg, to pick up all your local fresh fruits and vegetables. With our in-house bakery, fresh fruit slushies, and apple cider donuts, you can't go wrong. Live bluegrass every Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. And check out all that's local and delicious at Orr's by going to orrsfarmmarket.com or visit our Facebook page.
Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. We now go in the huddle with Rams running back Blake Hartman. Blake, another week and 2 touchdowns for you this week. You just keep finding the end zone these past few weeks. What's it been like to, kind of establish yourself in the backfield on this team?
Anytime you're running under Ronnie, he opens up the field for you. So we know we're 2 different style running backs, so he really opens the field, and then I'm put in good situations. So,
what'd you take away as an offense from that win over Westchester?
I think it was a dominating win. We came out slow, but over time, we established our run game, established the pass game, and figured it out.
For you, your first year here at Shepherd after starting your career at Lehigh and then transferring back home, what's it meant to you to get back here and play well and be a big part of this team this year?
Anytime you can play well in front of this is your home crowd. I grew up here, grew up around Shepherd football. So I mean, people are close, can come see me play. So I love playing here. So.
What kind of attracted you to come back and play for Shepherd?
A lot of different things, just a fit, it's a better fit, you know the people you're playing with, you know the coaches, people can come watch you, so there's a lot of good things. So, winning program too, so.
You mentioned running behind Ronnie. You guys are two different running backs, but what have you learned from him since playing with him?
Ronnie sees the field like crazy, so just anticipating what the defender's going to do before they do it, he's really taught me a lot, things like that, so he's really agile, so that's a lot different than what I do, so kind of gel well together, I feel.
Senior day, you haven't been around these guys necessarily too long, but what has this senior class meant, and what do you guys want to do to send them out the right way?
Obviously we want to win, but, this senior class, they lead by example. I came in coming from a program that I didn't feel had much player-led leadership at Lehigh. We came in here and coaches aren't really in control. It's the players. So anytime you have guys like Tyson, B-Walk, Joey Fisher, any of those guys, you're going to do well. So,
what will be some keys to get the victory against Bloomsburg?
They're aggressive defense. I think we just have to play our game. Can't look at the record going into the game. You have to kind of treat every opponent the same because it's college football. It's hard to get a win in college football. So, just treat them like any other opponent and attack them.
All right, Blake, thank you. Good luck this week. We now go in the huddle with Rams linebacker Emilio Pena. Emilio, big win for you guys over Westchester this past week. What were some things you took away from the win?
Definitely preparation. I think our coaches and our defensive coordinator, they definitely put us in good situations and prepared us to go in and get the W.
How's it feel to get such a dominating win over one of the programs that's been known as one of the better teams in the conference?
It definitely helps us, gets everybody going, gets the morale going, and definitely lead us into the playoffs, into our playoff hopes. Just a lot of momentum.
Last year you played a lot of secondary positions, and now you've kind of moved down into that linebacker / safety spot. How do you feel like, I guess, the game has changed now where a lot more guys are playing that hybrid linebacker DB spot, and how do you think that's kind of benefited you this season?
Yeah, I think a lot of offense are now, they have more speed and more, a lot of teams are passing the ball and things like that. So for me, it gives me the opportunity to play in the passing game and come down and make tackles for my team and things like that. So I enjoy it. It gives me more different things that I could do and to help out my team. So yeah.
The defense this year playing really well on the defensive side of the ball. It's a young, quick defense. What do you think's been kind of some of the keys to the defense's success this season?
Hunger. A lot of guys are young, and we're just hungry, and we want to get after it. So definitely, just a lot of guys that's trying to get after it.
And senior day this week for you guys against Bloomsburg, what is it going to mean to you to send the seniors out with a win?
It's big. It's their last regular season home game, so hopefully we pack it out and just leave the seniors off with something good to lead into the playoffs.
And what have you seen out of Bloomsburg so far? What do you guys need to do defensively?
They do a lot of different things with the run game, and they're a run-heavy team, so we need to be able to lock in on our keys and just stop the run for sure.
All right, thank you and good luck this week.
I appreciate you.
Concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Why are young people leaving West Virginia? Unfortunately, too many of our young people see more opportunities out of the state than they see here in the state. We have to have young people if we're going to have a future. Good paying jobs, recreational facilities, arts, theater. Most young people are looking for more than just a paycheck. They're looking for something that they can grow within their chosen profession. Every time I vote in the Senate, I think, is it good for West Virginia, and will it help keep our young people here in the state?
Paid for by the committee to elect Hannah Geffert, Gary Geffert.
To Rams Stadium here on the campus of Shepherd University in Shepherdstown, West Virginia on this Halloween weekend. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Colin McLaughlin, our on-site producer. On camera is Daryl Miller along with Braden Schaffner and Dylan Bishop down on the sideline. Travis, let's get your keys to the game brought to you by the Heffley Motor Company. The key to your next car is at the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer Dupuis, our producer back in the studio, rides with them, so you should too.
Well, looking at Bloomsburg, you want to see their keys for today's game. I think it's going to be a quick start. Like we mentioned, it's senior day, and sometimes when teams go out there and you have these type of events where things are going to be a bit emotional and guys just thinking back on their time, it might be a little bit of fog early on. So it's going to be critical for Bloomsburg to try to jump on that, take advantage of it, and get off to a quick start. And that's going to help them stay balanced on the offensive side of the board. On the offensive side of the ball. On defense, they need to be creative as far as how they use their blitzes and their coverages. They have talent on the back end, so they can rely on that coverage a little bit, but it can't be something where they're left on the island too long. And if they do blitz, they have to get home, possibly sack a quarterback, and get a turnover. As far as Shepherd, you looking at their keys to the game, I think they should be creative in how they get the ball to Ryan Beach. He's gotten off to a slow start so far this year, but so far you've seen the Rams, as the year has progressed, have found different ways to get him involved, using him in jet sweeps, more bubbles and things like that. Also just to balance the tackle on offense, establish that run early, take some of the speed out of that pass rush, and really do a good job of wearing down that defensive front, and most importantly, protecting your quarterback.
Haney kicks it away for Shepherd, and we are underway here from Rams Stadium on Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day, and it's a good return here for the Monaco there on the return for Bloomsburg.
So there we go. That's one of our questions answered right off the jump. Caleb Monaco will be in the game, but looks like he has some type of heavy wrap on his hand, so he may not be back there running the ball too much today.
Our opening kickoff is brought to you by Orr's Farm Market. Family-owned, family-grown. Happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market, located at 682 Orr Drive in Martinsburg. So first down and 10 for the Bloomsburg Huskies. It's KJ Riley to start things off for the Huskies in the shotgun formation. And Monaco is the back, and they will fake it to him. Riley will run up the middle, lower the shoulder, run over McDowell there on the run. A good run for KJ Riley to start things off for Bloomsburg.
And again, it's going to be important for the Huskies to have a kill it on first downs, basically, because you don't want to get in those predictable down and distances, and that's when that Rams defense really imposes its will. So if you're able to get a good gain on first down, that's going to keep the whole playbook open as far as runs and passes and try to put that defensive unit on their heels.
Owen Anderson, the receiver, to the near side along with the slot receiver, and they will run the ball here to the outside and not much room. Setting the edge there was Kyle Smith for Shepherd.
Again, it's going to be hard for that offensive lineman to get out and try to get a hand on Kyle Smith. He's lined up outside leverage, so you're running that jet sweep to his side. Not only that, you're running it to the short side of the field, so you're going to have a little bit less room to work with, and it's just tough to try to beat that Shepherd defense with speed because they are built for speed. And that's just going to be a tough way to try to attack them, but maybe use that jet sweep to set up something a little bit later on in the game. Looked like the quarterback may have had an option to pull that and run the ball himself.
Excuse me, that was a 2-yard loss, so a 3rd down and 3. Riley pitches to the outside. It has room with Monaco running on the pitch, and that should be enough for a Bloomsburg 1st down, and it will.
Bloomsburg right now looking to work that short side of the field, running a speed option with the quarterback. He basically just takes the handoff and he attacks that play side defensive end, and that defensive end steps up to take the challenge. That's when he went ahead and did a good job of getting a clean pitch out to Monaco, who was able to pick up that first down for the Huskies.
1st down and 10 for Bloomsburg. Riley in the shotgun, Monaco the back to his right. They'll run the same play pretty much, and Monaco ducks out of bounds on that far Shepherd sideline, forced out by Dwayne Grantham. It'll be 2nd down. Offensive lineman down here for Bloomsburg. That is big number 78.
Alan Snyder, 6'3", 329-pound sophomore. That is a big fella.
Another guy you want to lose, his backup is a freshman in John Snipes, 6'4", 303-pound freshman. But with the injury, let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. And this is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Welcome you back here to Rams Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Our first quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Along with the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers, call 304-245-6613 or go online to skinnerfirm.com. 2nd down and 8 after the injury from the 32 for Bloomsburg. Riley in the shotgun formation. I'll run a toss play to the near side. Monaco gets to the edge, gets past Evan Lynch, and has the 1st down. Pena knocks him out of bounds here on the near side, and Bloomsburg finding ways, Travis, to get to the edge against a quick Shepherd defense.
And that doesn't happen too often. That Rams defense just, again, so quick to the edge. But running that option action, it almost looks like he's running it a little bit wide this time. Not a true speed option, but it's almost like a pitch. So he's running it hard off the edge. When the defense commits, he pitches it out there to Monaco. And Monaco seemingly to hold on to the ball pretty well, even though that left hand is heavily bandaged. There's a bad snap right there.
Yeah, fumbled behind the line. I believe Riley was able to dive back on top of it. Looked like he just wasn't ready for the snap. Still, moving the ball forward here. It'll be 2nd down for the Huskies.
And that's always tough. You go out there, get a good gain on 1st down, and then you have a miscommunication between the quarterback and the center, and it backs you up a little bit. And, again, it puts you in a situation where your hand is kind of forced in what you can call. 2nd and long, you really don't want to be facing a 3rd and long, so the Huskies are looking for a chunk play here on 2nd down, and that's when those speedy defensive ends for the Rams are able to wreak havoc.
2nd down and 15, and they'll throw. Riley rolling to the right, gets away from Kyle Smith, chucks it deep down the far sideline and incomplete. Keyshawn Haley in the coverage, and a flag comes in on the far side.
Good time. It was a good job that time by Owen Anderson, the wide receiver. Knew that the ball was underthrown, but he didn't want to tip his hand to the defender. Haley did a good job of just trying to guard his face. I think what drew the penalty, though, he didn't get his head around to locate the ball. So if you're going to be the defender that's going to initiate that type of contact, that's going to be an easy call for these officials to make. And, again, we talked about it throughout the year. PSAC officials, they let them play football out there on the edge. They're not too quick to call pass interference, but on a play like that, it's pretty much a slam dunk decision because Keyshawn Hanley just didn't get his head around to locate the ball when he hit into the receiver.
And that really hurts because it would have been a 3rd down and 15 for the Bloomsburg Huskies, a team that doesn't really like to throw the football, as we've seen early in the ball game.
And that hurt goes both ways on that one, Nick, because the Huskies cannot afford to miss out on opportunities to score points. And that was something that the quarterback was able to get a little bit more mustard on the ball. That probably would have been a touchdown for the Huskies. So even though they get the first down from the pass interference.
I don't believe that was the call.
Oh.
Offsetting penalties there.
Oh, okay.
So doesn't hurt anybody. It's 2nd down and 15. We'll restart. Riley in the shotgun formation. Monaco goes in motion from right to left. And now a flag comes in. I believe this will be an offsides against Shepherd.
No, false start.
Oh.
And that's something when you have a lot of those shifts and you have a lot of those motions, you have those big offensive linemen down in their stance for extended periods of time, and that's just inviting sometimes things not to go your way. And so far, a couple of miscues have stalled out the Huskies here in the early goings.
So it'll be 2nd down and 20 now from the 30-yard line for Bloomsburg. Riley will roll to the near side, looking deep, has a man open, and it's incomplete. Good coverage on the play for Shepherd, and it will be 3rd down and 20.
Christian McDowell on the coverage. Locked up wide receiver for Bloomsburg. That was Nas Jones, their H-back. H-back, kind of a hybrid between a fullback and a tight end, and it's something that the Huskies like to use, and why not? When you have a 6'3", 230-pound sophomore that's out there making plays for you this year. Already has 10 catches coming into today's game. Had a big week last week, 5 catches for 62 yards versus East Stroudsburg.
3rd and 20. Riley looking to throw, steps up in the pocket. Under some pressure, throws and incomplete.
And again, you have those brief windows of opportunity versus that Shepherd defense, but they're able to recognize that and quickly react. As the quarterback stepped up into the pocket, looked like he had some green space in front of him. If he wanted to run, even though he had to force the ball down the field, it looked like the best opportunity he had for a play was to try to run the ball, but that defense was able to react in such a way that he had to try to force a pass in there, and now they're looking to punt.
Pass intended for Peyton Persing, and the Bloomsburg team will be forced to punt here. Kevin Kerrigan, the freshman, has it blocked. It's blocked by the Rams. And we'll roll forward, so not terrible start after a blocked kick. That punt ends up, but still Shepherd has it in Bloomsburg territory to begin things. I believe Naeem Alexander got a finger on it, and the Rams will take over from the 47-yard line of Bloomsburg.
We've said Alexander's name quite a few times on special teams plays. Usually he's the one that's applying the big hit. But that time, able to get his hand on the ball and knock it down. And the Rams offense setting up with some great field position to get this day going.
Yeah, Rams have it. At the Bloomsburg 47-yard line, they'll run Ronnie Brown off the right side. He's got a big hole, cuts it back up the middle, and Ronnie Brown running deep into Bloomsburg territory. Very patient run. He's tackled on the play by Joseph Kahn.
You nailed it. Just a patient run, and that was runs that he didn't see early on in the season. He had that monster game early on in the year, and that kind of blew his pilot light out a little bit as he struggled the next couple of weeks because he was just looking solely for the home runs. But I think an ankle injury kind of slowed him down, and that made him appreciate the type of runs he can get if he's just a little bit more patient.
10:25 to go in this first quarter. No score. Pass is complete here on the near side to Marlon Cook. He has the first down before being driven out of bounds.
There's Chris Monaco over there on the coverage, and he slipped and fell down at the beginning, but he was able to get back to his feet and stand up and force Cook to the sidelines.
Nate Capers the man to knock him out of bounds. So we first down and 10 for Shepherd from the 26-yard line of Bloomsburg. Third play of the day for the Rams. Bajan in the gun with Ronnie Brown, the back to his left, and trips to the far side. Bajan looking to throw again. Has time, throws complete underneath to Ronnie Brown. He'll try to spin out of that tackle, but that time Monaco wraps up his man and brings him down after a short completion.
And again, good coverage on the back end by that Huskies defense, forcing Tyson Bajan to take the check down, and checking down to Ronnie Brown isn't a bad option, but the Huskies able to rally quickly and tackle well in space. That's always going to be at a premium versus a team like Shepherd that likes to work the ball to the perimeter and let those guys make yards after the catch.
No backs in the backfield as Ronnie Brown is the man split out far to the left side. Second down and 7 for Shepherd. Bajan takes the snap, throws underneath, incomplete to Brian Walker. And are they going to rule that a fumble? It's very similar to that Millersville play we had. And they will roll it a fumble. So very simple play. Bloomsburg has the football. Coming up with it was Darnell Hightower.
And that was a play that was designed to get Walker the ball. Like you mentioned, no backs in the backfield, and most of the time when you say empty, you usually expect to see 5 wide receivers out there, but that wasn't the case. There were 4 wide receivers out there, and if you want to include Ronnie Brown in that number, and Walker was lined up in that tight end in the left, and it was kind of an option route for him. He broke to the outside. Good route, good catch, good throw, but Walker not able to hold on to the ball. And now the Huskies able to see if they can take advantage of that opportunity. They needed to force a turnover.
9 minutes to go in this first quarter. I don't know if Walker ever really hauled that in, but they did rule a fumble. Here's a deep shot down the middle of the field, incomplete. McDowell coverage, intended for Jerry Griffin Batchelor, the sophomore wide receiver.
Batchelor can do it in the air and on the ground, has 9 carries for 94 yards on the season, also has 12 catches for 82 yards. So a versatile weapon for that Huskies offense. Starting to see that more and more in the game nowadays, of having those running back / wide receiver type players out there, really putting a lot of pressure on defenses.
Riley now takes the snap on 2nd and 10. They'll throw over the middle, incomplete. Big hit on that one by Devin Lynch.
Devin Lynch, that might be the early nominee for collision of the game.
Excuse me, I think that was Keyshawn Haley with the big hit there.
There you go. He's had quite a few of those this year as well.
So kind of in 3rd and 10 with 8:52 to go in this first quarter. No score between Shepherd and Bloomsburg. Riley in the offense backed up. Monaco is the back here on 3rd down. And goes in motion from left to right. Riley takes the snap, throws near side, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. So Shepherd's defense playing well early on, and some penalty helping them out as well, and we'll have a punt.
And KJ Riley's wide receivers not doing him any favors. He's thrown some accurate balls here early on, using RPO and play action to help the young quarterback get a cleaner read down the field. But right now the wide receiver is not holding up their end of the bargain.
Ronnie Dorsey standing at the 49-yard line. Kerrigan's punt. First one was blocked. This one he kind of rolls out. It's a high kick, but not very far. We'll bounce it around the 40-yard line. Takes a good Bloomsburg bounce toward the 49, and that's where Shepherd will take over on its own 49-yard line.
And it almost looked like the Huskies were a man short on that play. There was a gaping hole on that right side, and that's why the punter almost had to do like a rugby-style punt where he rolls out to his right, and fortunate for him, he was able to get a favorable bounce and put Shepherd on the 50-yard line. Still good field position for this Rams offense in their second possession of the game.
8:36 to go. They'll mark it actually right at midfield for Shepherd. First quarter, no score between the two teams. Tyson Bajan in the shotgun formation. Ronnie Brown is the back. Edlin and Dorsey, the receivers here, this near side, and Bajan will throw. Complete to Marlon Cook on the far side. He'll run a man over into Bloomsburg territory. Down to about the 35-yard line. It's a first down Shepherd after a 15-yard pass completion.
And Devin Fleming coming up to make the tackle, the 5'9", 170-pound sophomore from Manassas, Virginia. You look at some of these defensive backs and how they match up with Marlon Cook. There is a huge size advantage in favor of Marlon Cook versus this secondary.
Bajan with Dorsey and Cook, the receivers here, the near side. Throw complete underneath of Brian Walker. Make one man miss before he's brought down on the play. Coming up and making the tackle was Darnell Hightower.
Again, Hightower.
Second and short.
5'9", 175-pound sophomore. So you look at these players in the secondary, there's going to be some mismatch problems today with considering the size that Walker's bringing to the table. Cook is 6'2", Walker 6'4". So definitely want to see some isolation stuff out of that Rams offense to try to get those favorable matchups.
We have it here on the far side. Marlon Cook all by himself, one-on-one.
And no safety help.
Could be where they look to throw, and they do, but they dump it down to Cook. He makes a man miss, and then is brought down on the play on that far side. Making the tackles Ron Long.
I understand that you don't want to get beat deep, but on second and short, and you have your lone corner playing 10 yards off the ball, you pretty much just gave him a handwritten invitation to pick up the first down. Move the safety over there, bump that corner down, and make them work for it.
Bagent looking to throw. He'll hand it off to Ronnie Brown. Big hole for Ronnie Brown inside Bloomsburg territory, inside the red zone now, and knocked out of bounds on that far side.
Good block that time by Chandler Brown at the left tackle position, able to run that defender up the field, creating a wide hole. There was a linebacker waiting in the hole for Ronnie Brown, but that's got to be a tough assignment right there, trying to tackle Ronnie Brown in space, and he was able to give him a little shake and bake and get to the outside and pick up a chunk of yards on the play.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score between Shepherd and Bloomsburg. Bagent looks to throw here on first down and goal from the 8. Steps up. Bagent pumps once. He'll look to run. Potentially gets out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Be second and goal.
Number 14, Ron Long, was the defender that runs Bagent out of bounds. We've seen Bagent. He has no problems pulling the ball down, especially in the red zone, calling his own number, trying to punch it in. Like we mentioned, he has 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. He's a young, athletic quarterback that can make a team pay if they don't pay attention to his mobility. Think back to that Millersville game. It got to the point where they had to assign a spy to him to kind of keep him under control in running game.
Ronnie Brown, the back here in the pistol formation. They'll turn around, give it to Ronnie Brown. He's into the end zone, up the middle. Touchdown Shepherd, I believe. No, they're going to spot him a yard short.
And again, McCook checks into the game. Very hard-nosed run blocker, but also a pretty good pass-catching target out of the backfield down this close to the end zone. All he does is catch touchdowns.
Bagent is 9 total touchdowns away from breaking the NCAA Division II record for most touchdowns in a career. That includes rushing. Ronnie Brown is the back to the right of Bagent. They'll go Brown again. No, Bagent kept. He throws to McCook. Reaches for the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. All he does is catch touchdowns. And on senior day, the 2 seniors. And those 2 are good friends as well, Travis. And it is 6-0 Shepherd with 5:18 to go in the opening quarter. Extra point running on from Jacob Haney.
Well, if you're a hard-nosed blocker and you're a sure-handed wide receiver, you're going to make fast friends with most quarterbacks that you play with. And McCook, again, that's his 4th touchdown of the year. And a little bit of miscommunication between Tyson Bagent and Ronnie Brown on that play. You have that RPO action in the backfield, and Ronnie Brown wanted that touchdown himself, and Tyson Bagent just showing that hand strength, able to break the ball free and throw it to McCook.
Haney's extra point is up and good. So with 5:18 to go in this opening quarter, it is 7-0 Shepherd. We'll take a break and return. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back at 60.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
When I was in high school, I was a troubled kid. Hannah Geffert took me into her family and treated me like her son. Today, I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a college graduate, and have a successful job. Hannah Geffert doesn't just talk about caring for children, she does it. She did it for me. Vote to keep Hannah Geffert as your state senator. She will take care of you too.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. Bloomsburg returns the kickoff across the 20 to about the 23-yard line, I believe. But
Kalen Perez comes up with the big tackle, the 6-foot, 220-pound freshman from Waldorf, Maryland.
Actually, he didn't get out to the 20 quite yet. About the 18-yard line is where things will start off. But the Rams go in from 50 yards out and end the drive with the roommates connecting, and Tyson Bajent and Michael McCook to give Shepherd the early 7-0 lead with about 5:12 now remaining. 19-yard line here. Our scoring drive summary brought to you by Jason Barrett for State Senate. Vote to cut the car tax. Vote Jason Barrett in November. Devin Lynch coming up making a big tackle here on the Monaco run to the outside. That will back up Bloomsburg. So after some early success, Travis running those plays to the outside, it seems like Shepherd's made the adjustments, and now, if you're forcing this Bloomsburg team to throw, just haven't seen a lot of production from these wide receivers this year. There's another toss play with Monaco. Sheds off one tackler before he's brought down on the play by Kevin Kauser.
And again, and that's a credit to that defensive unit. You might have some success, but you know that success is going to be fleeting because they're a team that's just so much effort, so much athleticism, and they're well schooled. You can tell that they do the due diligence leading up to a game because they're prepared. Rarely are they caught off guard.
3rd down and 4. Riley wants to take a shot down the middle part of the field and incomplete. Well over the head of his intended receiver, Gabe Brower. And that will be another punt here coming quickly from Bloomsburg with 4:14 to go in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 Shepherd, and the Rams will get good field position.
A couple of deep shots and a couple of misses here early on for the Huskies. Those wide receivers have been able to get behind those defensive backs for Shepherd. And, again, you cannot miss on those opportunities. They're going to be few and far between. So when you get them, you have to connect and make the most of them. And so far, some early misses for this Huskies offensive unit.
Kerrigan's punt. Low kick will bounce at around the 40 and roll inside the 30. So Shepherd will have its worst field position of the day, but still not bad field position here. From the 29-yard line, that's where the Rams will take over after that good 50-yard drive resulting in the touchdown. 7-0 Shepherd, 4:04 to go in this opening quarter. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Rams.
Again, that rugby-style punt from the Huskies, kind of hard to get a return. When that punter is rolling out like that, one, you always have to be aware of the fake because I'm sure they've probably put some type of read in for that punter where if you see the defense and they're not reacting, probably has a call where he can pull it and run it himself. So you have to respect that every time he drops back to punt.
Cook and Beach, the receivers, to the far side. They'll fake to Ronnie Brown, now roll to the left, dump it down to Ryan Beach, and Beach sheds on or tries to get away from one tackler before he's brought down around the 40-yard line. Should be enough for a 1st down, and it is. Long makes the tackle there on the far side. Under 4 minutes to play now in the opening quarter.
And again, you're starting to see this offense really benefiting from running that ball early. Now they're using that play-action pass where that passing game and running game can complement one another.
Bajan adjusting at the line of scrimmage. Now Ronnie Brown moves to his right. Cook is the receiver to the far side. Max Fisher, the man to the near side. They'll run Ronnie Brown, and looked like he had a big hole, but then a great job to come through and make that tackle for Bloomsburg by Peyton. I'm sorry, that's not Person. That's Nick Briner coming through, I believe. Excuse me, Adam. 45 would be Adam Burkhart coming through.
Burkhart, one of the leading tacklers on this ball club coming into today's game. He had 59 tackles, 34 of those solo. So he is a player that has some range, can move from sideline to sideline, and a sure-handed tackler.
So 2nd down and 7 after just a 3-yard pickup. Bajent. Time again, throwing deep down the far sideline for Ronnie Brown. It's in and out of his hands, incomplete. A tough play to make there for him to adjust that football Maybe he slowed down just a tad bit because it looked like if Tyson could have hit him in stride, that could have been a touchdown for Shepherd.
And Tyson saw him late in the play. He was able to go past Burkhart. That's going to be a mismatch in space. Ronnie Brown just flies right past him, and Tyson Bajan comes back to him late, and by that time he was pretty much on top of the safety. That's a tough throw and catch to make, especially when you consider that Ronnie Brown looking back over his shoulder is looking back directly into the sun. We've seen that a couple times on this field at this time of year. Guys looking back this way, they're going to have difficulty locating the ball because they're looking back into the sun.
Bajan throwing complete to Alfonso Foray, and Foray has it for a first down into Bloomsburg territory.
That was Devin Fleming coming up, making the tackle. You see the Huskies just playing back. They're content to keep everything in front of them. Don't want to give up the big plays over the top. And the Rams are more than happy to take that exchange because they know that they have wide receivers that can break tackles, make people miss, and more importantly, get yards after the catch.
First down and 10 from the 46-yard line now for Shepherd. 7-0 Rams. They'll run Ronnie Brown. Brown stutter steps in the hole and finds a little bit of room there off that left side. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Good job by that Bloomsburg defense. Leading the charge was Kobe Frickland, the 6'3", 265-pound sophomore. 2nd and 7 for the Rams after a 3-yard gain. 4A Beach, the receivers to this near side. E.J. Morgan to the far. Bajan again with plenty of time. He'll dump it down to Morgan in the flat. And Morgan sheds off 2 tacklers. Still on his feet inside the 25-yard line goes E.J. Morgan. The senior has a first down for Shepherd. Travis Morgan, a guy that's been injured throughout his career, still looking for his first career touchdown catch. Today would be a great day to get one on senior day. 4A, Ryan Beach, the receivers to the far side. Ronnie Brown is the back in the backfield on 1st and 10 for Shepherd from the 23-yard line. Bajan will throw far side to 4A, complete inside the 15-yard line.
Again, the Huskies they seem to be content letting those passes being complete underneath, playing back a little bit more, and just a little bit more on Morgan. He's a solidly built wide receiver, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and as we saw on the previous play, a very tough tackle out in open space, and especially when you consider a lot of these defensive backs for Bloomsburg, undersized guys. They've played well, but that's tough when you're the guy at the point of attack.
They'll go to Ronnie Brown. Brown still on his feet, tiptoes the sideline, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. 13-0 Rams here just before the end of the first quarter. Somehow stays in bounds and then gets into the end zone.
Showing some nifty footwork there on the sidelines to stay in bounds and then get inside that pylon. And again, when the Rams are able to use that running game and it sets up that play action pass game, just a very tough offensive group to try to stop. And this Rams ball club rolling here early on.
13-0 Shepherd, 19 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. Jacob Haney on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up. And it is good. 14-0 Rams, 19 seconds to go in the first. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
the kickoff return here. Bloomsburg making some moves as we welcome you back to Shepherdstown. It will be good field position for the Huskies.
Chris Monaco that time on the return. Got both the Monaco boys back there on kickoff return and looking to set up good field position for that Huskies offense. And the Rams in those first two kickoffs used a different kickoff alignment where they basically had the entire team packed from one hash mark over to one sideline, and on that last kickoff looked to be a little bit more like their conventional kickoff unit. So it may have been something different for senior day, working in some different people. You want to try to cut down on the field, or maybe you picked up on something that the Huskies like to do, but now they're going back to their conventional look, and the Huskies are able to take advantage of it.
So Riley in the shotgun. He'll toss it to the back. Nice move here on the carry for John Ayers, the sophomore running back. It will be close to the first down. Sticks on the carry for Ayers. That's the final play of this first quarter. And after one, it's Shepherd 14, Bloomsburg nothing. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 60 seconds.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Stadium, 14-0 Shepherd as we begin this second quarter here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, our crew. On camera, Daryl Miller along with Braden Schaffner. Down on the sideline is Dylan Bishop. Colin McLaughlin, our on-site producer. And back in the studio is Spencer Dupuis. You'll hear from Spencer at the half. So Riley in the offense has it first down and 10 from the Bloomsburg 45-yard line. Ayers remains the back. He's to the right of Riley. Man goes in motion from right to left. So keep it, Will Riley, and he is stopped in the backfield. Devin Lynch coming through to make that tackle to lead the charge for Shepherd.
Again, Ayers was kind of the decoy on that play. It looked like he was running flat out to the left, and the quarterback's reading that play side defensive end. If that defensive end widens out, then the quarterback pulls it and tries to get up in the middle. That was the read, but what also you didn't pick up on that is that Lynch was reading the same thing, and he comes in from the middle and able to make the tackle on the quarterback. Again, this Rams defense, they're so fast, and they're so fast to react to what the offense is doing. It's very difficult to try to do any type of reads against that defensive unit.
Second down and 13. They'll go Ayers again. He gets a good hole and runs through a man at the Shepherd logo. And Pena brought down on the play by Kyle Smith. And along with Dwayne Grantham, it'll be third down. But third and somewhat manageable here for Bloomsburg. 3rd and 7.
Ayers seems to be a nice compliment from Monaco, pounding it more in between the tackles, whereas opposed to Monaco was a little bit more dangerous out on the perimeter.
Play action throw complete to Jones. Jones takes a big hit from Haley, but he's still going. It's a first down and more for Bloomsburg. Tackled inside the 40-yard line. Shepherd goes Nas Jones.
He's too big. You're just not going to come up and throw a shoulder at him and expect him to go down. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a load. You're going to have to wrap him up and hope for the cavalry to get there soon enough to bring him down. You can't shoulder check a guy that big and expect a positive result.
It's a lean 232.
Yeah.
So a tough guy to bring down and has good speed. Riley will keep, run to the outside. Cut it back toward the middle. Pena coming up and making the tackle for Shepherd. Flag coming in here late. Looks like Bednarski was also in on that tackle for the Rams. So Bloomsburg getting a little bit of momentum on this drive, and really KJ Riley has thrown some accurate passes, been on some drops and some good plays on the defensive side for Shepherd.
And that's tough for a young quarterback. You're out there, you're setting things up as far as the play-action pass, and you can see what the Huskies are going for on the offensive side of the ball, and those plays are there, but the wide receivers got to hold up their end of the bargain. They have to make those catches, because what you don't want is your young quarterback second-guessing himself or not taking the read as it appears. So those guys have to do a better job of bringing that ball in, but like you mentioned, the Huskies starting to put some things together here on this drive.
Penalty going against Shepherd, too, so that will move the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. Bloomsburg now working into the red zone for the first time today. Ayers remains the back on 1st down and 10 with 12:55 to go in this first half, 14-0 Shepherd. Ayers will go in motion from left to right. Riley adjusting at the line of scrimmage. He'll take the snap, look to throw. Looking for the end zone. Incomplete off the fingertips of the intended target. Just missing the tight end was, or just missing the touchdown was tight end John Mack. And it will be 2nd down and 10. You got to have that if you're Bloomsburg. Wide open, good throw, great fake by Riley too. Just couldn't get it to be complete.
Not doing any favors for their quarterback so far today.
Be 2nd down and 10. Ayers remains the back. Riley will keep, run up the middle, and not find too much room before he's tackled by Emilio Pena.
You can just tell the youth on this Huskies offense, because they're using a lot of motions, using a lot of shifts, which is fine. You're going up against an aggressive defense, so you want to have them moving around, maybe not able to get a clean read on what the offense is doing. But those offensive guys, you got to steady yourself a little bit. Those offensive linemen, they have to be comfortable in their stance for an extended period of time. The quarterback has shown a lot of patience and poise here early on, but we've also seen the Huskies, some of their skill players, getting false starts because they're not getting up, they're not focused on what they're doing, and when they go in motion and going in those shifts, it's bringing on unforced errors.
Ben Rise runs on the field for KJ Riley for 3rd down, and now a timeout taken by Bloomsburg. We'll take a 30-second break, but interesting decision here from the Bloomsburg coaching staff. We'll be back at 30.
Want to earn your MBA but don't think you have time? Shepherd University offers 2 options for employed learners. Choose between our fully online or our in-person programs. You can earn your degree in the evenings while benefiting from Shepherd's top faculty. We're now accepting applications for next semester. Visit www.shepherd.edu/online radio or call 304-876-5313. Again, that's www.shepherd.edu/online radio.
We welcome you back to Ram Stadium. So it's 3rd down at about 8 from the Shepherd 13-yard line. And now Riley is back on the field. So maybe that timeout was simply just to get him ready to go back out there, because Ben Rise was running onto the field, the sophomore backup quarterback from Danville, Pennsylvania. But now Riley is on the field for 3rd down and 8. And I was like, well, they're definitely not benching him. He's played pretty well. 13-yard line. Riley will take the snap. He'll go Ayers. Ayers has a big hole. Just missing a touchdown. If he could have broken a great tackle, a touchdown saving tackle from Emilio Pena.
You nailed it.
I thought he was in.
Yeah. From our vantage point, looked like you could have drove a truck up the middle again. The Huskies did a good job establishing that run on the perimeter earlier. Now with Ayers in the game, they're pounding a little bit more in between the tackles. Again, had that brief moment where they looked like they were going to be able to get something.
1st and goal from the 4. They'll run Riley up the middle. Helmet coming off of an offensive lineman in Aaron Bensinger, who I believe is back in the game after going down with the injury, but now he'll have to come out for the helmet coming off for a play. So Riley in the offense has it now 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
And again, Ben Reese back into the game. And I think it's something where he's kind of their package quarterback. You look at his stats coming into today's game. Doesn't throw the ball very much. He's only thrown one pass. Well, completed one pass. He's 1 of 4 for 0 yards, so they're not looking for him to do too much passing ball, but he does have 17 carries for 76 yards coming into today's game. Looking back to last week's contest, had 6 carries for 14 yards, so more of a package quarterback, more of your running style quarterback once he comes into the game, and that makes sense. You get down that close to the goal line, you want to have that running option, and you don't want your starter getting beat up down there in the trenches.
Yeah, Riley is a good runner, though, as well, and we've seen him run a lot in the early goings here of the ball game. Our second quarter is brought to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. Along with Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home but don't know where to start? Call Chris Ross at Milestone Real Estate at 304-268-2774, or go to callchrisross.com. Here's a run toward the end zone, just short of getting in. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1 yard line here for Bloomsburg. And the other thing, it's almost like Rise is just kind of a distraction because I don't know if he's got a carry down here yet. But Ayers remains the back. Ben Rise remains the quarterback. 15 seconds to go on the play clock. Receivers goes in motion. Reese keeps, tries to get into the end zone, and he's going to be marked short again. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1. Dwayne Grantham leading the charge for Shepherd.
And again, this Rams defense, they're so fast that they really don't have to overreact to a jet sweep. There's really nobody on that offensive side of the ball that's going to scare that Rams defense with their speed. So they can basically stay at home, and that was a good job of staying at home by Lynch. He didn't bite on that jet sweep fake at all. So you might have been better off just giving it on that play and taking your chances on the perimeter, because right now that defensive unit starting to stiffen up in the middle. And now the Huskies going out. They're on the road. It's a smart play. They're going for the field goal. Got to get some points on the board. You want something positive from that last offensive drive.
It's fair enough, but it's literally an inch. I'm going for it here. If you want to try to upset the number 3 team in the nation, you got to score touchdowns. The field goal is up and good. I almost call it an extra point because it was that short of a field goal. So 14-3 Shepherd, 9:38 to go in the first half. Let's take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HR-V.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
Shepherd on top, 9:38 to go in the opening quarter. We'll have the kickoff here from Kerrigan after the field goal was good from Brendan McGongle, the freshman place kicker. So Kerrigan will handle the kickoff and punting duties, but McGongle will kick the extra points and field goal. Shepherd will let this one go out of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams will take over at the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Tyson Bagent and the Shepherd offense. Travis, pretty good start offensively for Shepherd. Haven't been on the field, though, I don't believe this entire second quarter, so long drive for Bloomsburg to get those 3 points. And
sometimes that's some of the best defense that you can play versus this Shepherd Rams team is your offense has to be productive and eat up clock, and that way you can keep Tyson Bagent tucked away safely on the sideline.
Bagent in the shotgun formation. And, of course, Kutztown, I think, held it for an entire quarter because Shepherd had a pick 6 in the second quarter as Blake Hartman runs off the far side. Hartman continuing to get touches here and there as part of this Shepherd offense. 4 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks. His counterpart, Ronnie Brown, has already scored today, so Blake Hartman getting some carries here. Shepherd moving the ball to about the 32-yard line.
That was Aaron Trumino in on the tackle, the 5'11", 200-pound grad student. And probably subbing him in because there was a couple times Burkhart had got exposed in pass coverage.
Bagent play action, throws complete to Ryan Beach. Beach has the first down and more. Moved the ball across the 45-yard line before he's tackled on the play. Looks like Long was in there along with maybe Hightower.
Yep.
And it will be first down for Shepherd. 14-3, 8:45 to go in this second quarter. Shepherd on top. 1st and 10. And they will go Hartman again, and he'll run off that right side before he's brought down on the play.
Like Ryan DeAmbra coming up from that linebacker position.
Billy Martin in there as well, the D lineman. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry. $8:10 to go here from the 48-yard line. Bagent in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers here to this near side, and Tyson looks and throws complete to Marlon Cook. Cook trying to stutter step and make some moves, but takes it into Bloomsburg territory, and that's about it. There's Long in there.
Trumino.
Another tackle. And yeah, Trumino coming up as well.
So it looks like the Huskies made that adjustment. They took Burkhart off the field. He's more of that downhill run stopper type of linebacker. He got exposed a couple times. The Rams weren't able to connect to make him pay, but Burkhart kind of got exposed trying to guard Ronnie Brown out in space. So you go with the smaller Trumino, like we said, a grad student, veteran out there, and he's a little bit more shifty, a little bit more speed, so it's going to give you a little bit more versatility.
3-yard pickup on 3rd down. It's a completion to Ronnie Dorsey for a Shepherd first down. Long in on the tackle, move the ball to the 36-yard line of Bloomsburg.
That time, Bagent not forcing it, taking what the defense is giving him. Like we mentioned, the Huskies are electing just to stay back deep, trying to keep everything in front of them. And you have an accurate quarterback like Tyson Bagent. He's going to get the ball out of his hands quickly, and he's going to take those passes underneath because he has faith that they can make play after the catch.
Here's a screen pass to Ronnie Brown. Brown makes one guy miss inside the 30-yard line and heads out of bounds on that far side. And Ronnie, I think, might be injured. No, he's all right. He was hobbling a little bit to me, but maybe it was just Ronnie making a cut. He will check out after kind of being thrown hardly to the ground. Blake Hartman coming back in, but I think he's all right. I think it's just time for Hartman to get back.
I think the coaches were telling him, it's like, all your blocking was to the inside. Run to your guys. That's a jailbreak screen that time up the middle for the Rams.
Works for another Shepherd first down. On first down, they'll run Hartman off the right side. Hartman lunges forward over a defender in Monaco there, trying to trip him up on the outside. It'll be 2nd down for Shepherd, now into the red zone of Bloomsburg.
And that's such a luxury for that Rams offense when you have a running back, a dynamic playmaker in Ronnie Brown, and when he checks out of the game, you can bring in another running back who also has those playmaking abilities. They kind of do it in different ways, but Hartman also has the speed to make you miss if you don't come up with good technique and try to lower the boom on it.
2nd and 7 from the 19 for Shepherd. 5:47 to go in this first half. 14-3 Rams. Bagent throws complete underneath to Max Fisher at around the 15-yard line. The NC State transfer has. It'll be 3rd down for Shepherd after the short gain.
And Fisher, 6'3", 220. Very similar size and stature to Nas Jones. But the Rams offense uses him closer to a tight end as opposed to a wide out, and I think that kind of fits his body style. And then I'm sure Rams fans can remember Alex Wetzel. That's almost an identical body type with Max Fisher as far as height and weight.
How can you forget Alex Wetzel had arguably the biggest catch in school history, or at least one of the more memorable ones. 3rd down and 2. From the 14-yard line, they'll turn around. They'll go Hartman. Hartman has a hole and has the first down to about the 10-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Shepherd looking to extend its 14-3 lead. It will be another first down for the Rams. Now 1st down and goal from the 10.
And Hartman, he's not going to tap dance. He's going to hit that hole at 100 miles an hour that time. Just your classic zone runner, the slasher, the one-cut downhill type of runner. And Blake Hartman can also get some yards after contact as well.
Walker and McCook go in motion from left to right. Foray now coming in motion for Shepherd. They'll pitch it to him or toss it to him. Alfonso Foray will take it in from 10 yards out, following his blockers and Walker and McCook for 6. It's 20-3 Shepherd with 4:12 to go in the first half.
Tough play to stop for that Huskies defense when the Rams shift over Walker and McCook, and then they motion to that. You just have a convoy of blockers out in front of Foray, and he's able to make it happen. I mean, when your lead blocker is able to make it to the end zone untouched, you can rest assured that the ball carrier is going to be able to make it in there untouched as well, and the Rams extend their lead, looking to add one more point here with the extra point.
I believe that should count as a Tyson Bajan touchdown pass, so that will continue to move him up that Division II record book. Bad snap on the hold, and Hutchinson is tackled in the backfield.
I wanted to yell fire right there. I'm a high school coach, and when there's a bad snap, that's just something that we have in place now. It took everything in me just not to yell fire right there. But
happy you held back, Coach. You never want to yell fire in an indoor environment either. So
some people might want to come and talk to me after the game if I did that.
20-3 Shepherd, 4:12 to go in the first half. We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
But it also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
We welcome you back to Shepherdstown. An excellent return by Chris Monaco, but an even better tackle to potentially save what could have been an even bigger return by Terrell Lindsay on the special teams unit. So
that was something the Rams went to that unusual alignment for their kickoff team where they're basically all packed on one half of the field. So if you kick the ball in that direction, that's good. You're pinned in. You got more people that you can get to the party. However, if something extends that play and that returner is able to get out to the wide side of the field, you really have nobody over there that's going to be able to make the tackle. And Lindsay, again, like you said, able to make the shoestring tackle and save the touchdown.
Bad handoff between Riley and his running back Ayers. That will be a loss of about 4 on play.
And that's just so tough. You have a team that does a lot of zone read action, a lot of RPO stuff in the backfield. So you have a lot of big bodies operating in a small space where you're trying to hand the ball off or either hide the ball and pull it. And sometimes you're going to have those miscues. That's just something that they have to work on in practice during that mesh period where you have that running back and quarterback working together to get that handoff.
2nd and 14 now. Here's a toss play over to Ayers, and he is stopped on the perimeter. There's Keyshawn Haley coming up and making the tackle. The Shepherd Rams. Also
Isaiah
flying
Farmer
over was Farmer. So it'll be 3rd down quickly here, a 3rd and long. They're in about 15 after a loss of 1 on that carry. Coming up on 3 minutes to play in the first half. Shepherd on top 20-3. Riley in a shotgun from the 25. Kyle Smith providing some heat off the edge. Pass is nearly intercepted by Devin Lynch. It falls incomplete. And again, we'll have a punt from Krogan on 4th down.
Quick 3 and out that time. Again, an offense that's struggling to move the ball, offense that's struggling to get points. And you have that miscue early on with the mishandled ball. You put yourself behind the chains, and that's when this Shepherd Rams defense, they're out there, they're just playing like they're 10 feet tall. At that point, they're so tough when they're able to play with the chains to their advantage.
Here comes the punt. Gets it away. Dorsey will field at the 30, and this time he'll have a return. Ronnie Dorsey's got some room to the outside, trying to get away from a tackler. Still gets out to about the 35-yard line. Good tackle.
Like Luke Jellis coming up on the tackle for Bloomsburg. The 5'10", 195-pound redshirt sophomore from Hereford, Pennsylvania.
It's about 2:30 to go.
And interesting with those rugby punts. They're always kind of cool because when you never know how the ball's going to come off of his foot. It's something either he's going to pin them deep on that near sidelines or he can always hook it back the other way. And it's just very difficult to try to set up any type of punt return when you have that unusual punt formation and that unusual rugby-style action when he kicks it.
Ronnie Brown the back here for Shepherd, and Bajent will throw on 1st down and 10. Get some heat from the inside. Pelicano did a good job of making a block. Kenny Edlin can't make the catch. Broken up by Devin Fleming, a guy that we've called his name quite a bit here today.
Edlin shaken up a little bit. Kind of an awkward hit there that time on the sideline. Devin Fleming coming up hard on that play. And Edlin not able to pull it again. And again, Tyson Bajent's mobile enough to get outside the pocket, extend plays, find open wide receivers because the Huskies are just playing so far back in the secondary. You could tell they're just extremely worried about getting beat over the top.
2nd down and 10 here from the 35. Bajent with time again, throwing deep down the far sideline for Ronnie Brown and incomplete. Ronnie Brown was the intended target. Running stride for stride with him was Nate Capers. It'll be 3rd down and 10, so Shepherd looking to avoid a quick 3 and out of its own after getting a quick 3 and out defensively.
And Ronnie Brown has been running free in that secondary, so you can see that Shepherd offense trying to dial in on that. The Huskies made some adjustments on defense. They took Burkhardt out, put in Trumino, but that time that wasn't the matchup, and that was just a tough throw for Tyson Bajent to squeeze that one in.
3rd down and 10 from the 35. Bajent rolls to the right. Will have room to run and pick up the 1st down himself. Gets across the 45-yard line. Everybody worried about the secondary. Number 2 sometimes, and he makes Bloomsburg pay. It'll be 1st down, 10 Shepherd.
And the biggest thing that probably put a smile on Coach McCook's face that play, Tyson Bajent running out of bounds without taking a hit. He's a true competitor and will not back down from anybody, but sometimes you need your Harlan Hill quarterback. Get your butt out of bounds, live to fight another day.
It's a gain of 12 on 3rd and 10 to give Shepherd the 1st down. Bajent throws underneath, complete to Ronnie Brown. He'll make a man miss. Try to do some more maneuvering down to about the 40-yard line of Bloomsburg. Another 1st down for the Rams.
And again, that secondary, they're bailing out immediately. Those linebackers, they're bailing out immediately. And the Rams offense able to pick up on that. And the past couple times, all Ronnie Brown has done is just loop out of the backfield and just set up right over top of the offensive line waiting for that open pass.
Bajent pumps once, now dumps it down again. There's Ronnie Brown. Brown with plenty of room and space.
Ooh!
Takes a big hit. It's another 1st down for Shepherd. Move the ball to about the 25-yard line.
And Burkhardt, I'm not fast enough to catch it, so if I can get a chance to get a lick, my money's worth. Burkhardt's been chasing him around all day, so he's probably just happy just to be able to get his hands on him for one time.
1:21 to go in this 1st half. It is 20-3 Shepherd. Bloomsburg will take a timeout. We'll keep it here. Mike Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Tom McLaughlin, our on-site producer. Daryl Miller on camera, along with Braden Schaffner, and down on the sideline, Dylan Bishop. Normally we send it to Dylan right at the half, but I believe we're going to send it to him when Coach McCook and the Rams come back out to start the second half today. Spencer Dupuis, who you'll hear from at halftime, is back in the studio, keeping us on air. So that's our crew here today. First down and 10 from the 24-yard line for Shepherd, who leads at 20-3, 1:21 to go in the first half. That underneath pass has been there now on back-to-back plays. The Ronnie Brown, who remains the running back. E.J. Morgan, the receiver, here to the near side. Bajent operating from the 24-yard line of Bloomsburg. Bajent will look to throw again here. Chucks one toward the end zone, incomplete. Trying to lay it out there for Alfonso Foray. Coverage on the play from, I believe, Gabe Brower. Was that him back there?
Well, we don't have him on our roster. It's a number 10. We don't have a 10. We got a 9 and an 11.
So a mystery man out there.
That's Colin McLaughlin out there playing corner for Bloomsburg.
The best corner in the PSAC. Second down and 10. Bajent throws again. There's Ronnie Brown wide open. Brown making guys miss and getting about 3 on the play. Looked like a whole lot more because that pass was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Bajent wants to go quickly here with about under a minute now to go. Third down from the 21 after just a 3-yard pickup. It's 3rd and 7. Morgan, the receiver, to the near side.
Rams still have one timeout in their pocket.
Bajent throws underneath, complete to Rodney Dorsey, who makes a guy miss, lunges forward toward the first down sticks, and it is a first down Shepherd.
So the clock will stop on the first down. They move the sticks. The Rams are lined up looking to go tempo here to close out this first half.
On 3rd and 7, the Rams get 8, and they will, clock it, as you said, Travis. 32 seconds to go before halftime. Shepherd up 20-3 on Bloomsburg, looking to extend that lead heading into the half. It's been a pretty good first half, really. That fumble by Brian Walker's the only real negative offensively. And defensively, you gave up one long drive, but you were able to get a goal line stand and hold Bloomsburg to 3 points on what was like an 18-yard field goal. Second down and 10 from the 11 for Shepherd. Morgan, the receiver, to the near side. He'll move into the slot. Ronnie Brown, the running back. Bajent looking to throw, looking toward the right side for Dorsey. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Shepherd. 26-3 Rams with 25 seconds to go in this first.
Bajent had a choice on that play because Ronnie Brown was wide open, running a wheel on the backside. He goes to Dorsey on the play side, going up against the nameless Husky defender. Colin McLaughlin, blown coverage on that play.
Come on, Colin.
You got to get in the films, man.
Colin is a Berkeley Springs native. He grew up a Shepherd fan, so he doesn't want to stop the Rams.
Especially on senior day.
Yeah.
Conflict of interest.
He's a nice guy. 26-3, 25 seconds to go. The extra point from Jacob Haney is up and good. So Shepherd 27, Bloomsburg 3. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRR TV on YouTube. We'll take a 30-second break.
Why are young people leaving West Virginia? Unfortunately, too many of our young people see more opportunities out of the state than they see here in the state. We have to have young people if we're going to have a future. Good paying jobs, recreational facilities, arts, theater. Most young people are looking for more than just a paycheck. They're looking for something that they can grow within their chosen profession. Every time I vote in the Senate, I think, is it good for West Virginia, and will it help keep our young people here in the state?
Paid for by the committee to elect Annie Geffert, Gary Geffert, Treasurer.
We welcome you back to Rams Stadium. Shepherd 27, Bloomsburg 3. 25 seconds to go before halftime. Jacob Haney will kick it away for the Rams after Rodney Dorsey finds the end zone. First time in a long time for Dorsey. He was kind of a big part of the offense earlier in his career, but then had some injuries and now has kind of been reduced to mainly a special teams job, but now starting to get more and more time offensively. A little bit of a fight going on here, looks like, here in the stands. I don't know what's going on.
I believe some of the Shepherd faithful have found a spot right here behind the Huskies bench, and the Huskies, they have traveled well, and not taking too kindly to the Rams setting up shop here on the visiting sidelines.
I'm really not sure what this is all about, but it's getting pretty intense here on the sidelines between the players and the Shepherd fans.
When Travis Bajan is able to come over and get things settled down. People want to fight a little bit less when Travis Bajan shows up.
Yeah. So we thank the Beast for bringing the peace. The peace, not the Beast anymore. Here's a squib kick to Ayers, and Ayers returns it across the 30-yard line. And the Beast did actually ask us to remind people, and we want to remind people anyway, after this game, there is the Once a Ram, Always a Ram fundraiser going on at the Neon Moon. And the Beast is currently auctioning off a Tyson Bagent jersey. Before the game, the latest bid was around $600 for a signed, game-worn Bagent jersey. So he's taking bids for it. So, if you want that memorabilia, head out to the Neon Moon and put a bid in. I mean, that's a future NFL quarterback potentially there. So here's a run with Riley, and it's for a great cause as well, Travis. So
it's a win-win situation right there.
Yeah. You gonna bid on it?
I don't have that kind of money.
Fair enough.
I'm going to ask Mike for a raise.
Final few seconds of the first half. Roll off the clock. Shepherd 27, Bloomsburg 3. And we will take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Mansion Freddy Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We are back in 2 minutes.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
Welcome back in here to the studios. Due to some technical difficulties, I'll get you your scoreboard update right now. We'll take a look at scores from around the PSAC. Just let me reload those scores here. But while we do that, we'll take a look at the West Virginia Mountaineers. They are currently losing to the number 7 team in the country, TCU, 21-14 with about 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Looks like it's been a pretty good day for C.J. Donaldson, who wasn't expected to play in this ball game. He's had 9 carries, 74 yards, averaging 8.2 a carry with 2 touchdowns for the Mountaineers. We'll take a look now at the PSAC scores. The number 13 team in the top 25, Slippery Rock, is on top of Clarion, 14-0. Seton Hill and Edinboro are tied at 14 all. The number 12 team in the country, IUP, is losing to Gannon, 21-16. California, Pennsylvania on top of Mercyhurst, 27-13. Kutztown and Millersville tied at 6. That's in the second quarter. Bloomsburg, obviously this game that we have for you, Shepherd on top of Bloomsburg, 20-6. Lockhaven is losing to Westchester, 10-3. And East Stroudsburg and Shippensburg are just getting underway this afternoon. We'll take a look at Super Region 1, at what else is going on in Super Region 1. Those teams that Shepherd could likely see come playoff time. We'll see as these scores begin to load here. It appears that we got Wheeling, or Concord on top of Wheeling, 21-13. That's in the second quarter. American International and Southern Connecticut tied at 7 in the second quarter. Fairmont State losing to Notre Dame 7-6 in the second quarter. Findlay on top of Lake Erie 14-7. See what other scores from around Super Region 1 we can get you. Pace on top of St. Anselm 14-7. Walsh is leading Kentucky Wesleyan 14-7. See what other scores there are. Another 25th team, New Haven and Assumption, they're getting underway. As we speak, they should be underway right now, along with Alderson, Broadus, and Fairmont State, Glenville State, West Virginia State, Lincoln, Pennsylvania. Franklin Pierce Post at 1 p.m. as well. Ashland, the 9th team in the Division II, against Hillsdale. That's getting underway at 2 p.m. The other 2 p.m. games include West Liberty, UNC Pembroke, Charleston, and West Virginia Wesleyan at 2, and Northwood and Tiffin scheduled for a 4 p.m. kickoff. We'll take a look at the top 25 in Division I FBS. Good game going on in Nittany Lion country, as the Penn State Nittany Lions, the 13th team in the country, currently leading the second team in the country 14-10. And we mentioned TCU on top of West Virginia 21-14. Syracuse, the number 16 team in the country, is currently down to unranked Notre Dame. Game's getting underway at 3:30. Number 1 Georgia against Florida. Number 8 Oregon against California. A top 22 matchup, Kansas State, and that's number 22 Oklahoma State, number 9. That'll be at 3:30 as well. 3:30 as well as number 10 Wake Forest against Louisville. Number 17 number 17 Illinois against unranked Nebraska is also at 3:30. What we'll do right now is we'll step aside for a break, and hopefully we can reconnect with things down at Rams Stadium. We'll be back for more next.
The Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results believes buying a new home requires a dedicated team that cares about your needs and concerns. Our experienced team is from the area, and we care about this community because it is our home as well. Whether it's a $30,000 home or a $3 million home, we will be hands-on and invested throughout the entire process. Thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia? We've got the tri-state area covered.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
It also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you?
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Why are young people leaving West Virginia? Unfortunately, too many of our young people see more opportunities out of the state than they see here in the state. We have to have young people if we're going to have a future. Good paying jobs, recreational facilities, arts, theater. Most young people are looking for more than just a paycheck. They're looking for something that they can grow within their chosen profession. Every time I vote in the Senate, I think, is it good for West Virginia, and will it help keep our young people here in the state?
Paid for by the committee to elect Hannah Gifford, Gary Gifford, Treasurer.
You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset.
I hear him now. Huh? Back now. We welcome you back here to Shepherd. Are we sending it to Dylan now, or? Okay, well then we will send it down to Dylan Bush with the head coach, Ernie McCook. He does not have him yet, so I apologize for those technical difficulties here. Our unit was acting strange randomly, but it appears to all be good now. So what we will do here on the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show is, one, I'll read that read again because I don't believe it went over the air. So it is brought to you by Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. And now we'll get into our first half stats. We'll start with the Rams running the ball. Ronnie Brown, just 6 carries, but it feels like he's got more than that in some ways. 6 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. It's because he's made so many catches. 5 catches for Ronnie Brown for 44 yards. He's the leading receiver and rusher here at the half. Tyson Bagent, 2 carries for 16 yards. And throwing the football, another very accurate day for Bagent. 22 of 26, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Hasn't been sacked today either. Marlon Cook, 4 catches for 33 yards. Ronnie Dorsey with a touchdown.
Okay, is this the angle?
3 catches for 34 yards and a touchdown. Alfonso Foray, 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, Dwayne Grantham, 5 tackles. Neilio Pena with 3 tackles. Solomon Alexander with 3, and Kalen Perez with 2. And then on the Bloomsburg side, KJ Riley leads the team on the ground with 7 carries for 16 yards. 4 carries, 16 yards as well. Keem Bacon, 1 carry for 12 yards. John Ayers, 5 carries for 11 yards. Receiving the football, Nas Jones has 1 catch for 17 yards. And passing wise, Riley is just 2 for 10 for 20 yards.
Yeah, I'm moving myself out.
And our first half stats are brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. Excuse me. Our first half stats are brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security. Reminding you, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. Travis, anything really stand out to you about those stats from the first half? I mean, you look at some of these numbers. Shepherd has 302 total yards. Bloomsburg just 74. Third downs, the team, Shepherd is 6 for 6 on third down. So, I mean, a lot of things are helping lead Shepherd to these successful offensive days.
You just touched on it right there. That was the one thing that jumped out to me in that first half is the Rams going 6 for 6 on third downs. You mentioned Ronnie Brown having a big impact on the offensive side of the ball. 6 carries, 53 yards. Again, he's always averaging these eye-popping averages, yards per carry. 8.8 yards per carry in today's game. He's averaging 9.1 yards per carry coming into today's game. On the season, Also, Ronnie Brown, 5 catches for 44 yards, just taking advantage of what that defense is giving them. They're bailing out. The linebackers are bailing out. The defensive backs are bailing out, leaving a lot of empty space right over top of that offensive line, and Ronnie Brown's just been able to settle into space. You can always trust him to make something happen after he has the ball in his hands.
All right, Dylan, I believe, now has the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook, so we'll send it to Dylan.
All right, down here with Coach McCook on the sideline. Coach, you guys have a big lead at halftime. Your offense has really been able to move the ball on this Bloomsburg defense. How's it been working for you?
We can't look at the scoreboard. We can't look at the clock. Come out and play our game. We've got to execute like it's 0-0. That's how we have to play the ball game.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I think Coach is right there as 27-3, and he knows that this game is far from over, even though you are a heavy favorite today against Bloomsburg. Things have executed really well for Shepherd, but you don't want to look up at that scoreboard. You want to continue to execute and close this one out.
And what he's doing, and that's a smart approach, you're building your team towards making that deep playoff run at the end of the season. So even if you're in a situation like this where the game is lopsided and in your favor, you still want your group to maintain that focus because you want them just building that momentum from week to week. You want them playing sharp. You don't want them to get into the feeling of being complacent or they can take their foot off of the gas pedal. Also, like we mentioned early on in the year, as far as getting these blowout type of games, this is an excellent opportunity for you to develop your depth. You get some of your young guys in that don't normally get playing time when you're going up against your tougher competitors or the game's a little bit tight. Now you start working those players in. Not only are they able to get that playing time, but they're also able to get playing time like when it's still something on the line for them. There's still a little bit of meat left on the carcass. They're not just going out there mopping up in garbage time. They're going up against an opposing team's number one unit. There's still something to be played. There's still something to play for. So if you go out there, you maintain that hunger, you maintain that edge because your eyes are to the horizon. You're looking to play deep into the playoffs, so you're looking to get better at each and every opportunity that you have. So even though you're on top big, you know that you still have things that you want to get done, and it's an opportunity for those young guys to get something good on tape to show to their individual position coaches, like, hey, I deserve a little bit more playing time when the game's a little bit more in balance and it's not so lopsided.
Let's take a 60-second break when we return with the second half kickoff.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night, Thursday is steak night, Fridays are dinner specials, Saturdays there's live music, and Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern.
Welcome you back to Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Our second half kickoff is brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg. Neon Moon, of course, after today's game, if you want to head out to the Neon Moon Tavern for the Once a Ram, Always a Ram fundraiser. As we mentioned, Travis Bagent giving away a game-worn and signed Tyson Bagent jersey for the highest bidder. And those proceeds will go toward that fundraiser. So Shepherd will take it to begin this second half. It is Ronnie Brown across the 20. Brown is still on his feet. Out around here to the near side. He's got some room and out of bounds at around the 40-yard line. An explosive kickoff return for one of the most explosive players in NCAA Division II football, you could say, Ronnie Brown, with about third quarter just now getting started, 27-3 Shepherd on top. On this Halloween weekend, Shepherdstown is known, Travis, as one of the most haunted towns in America. Did you know that?
I did. Grew up in the area, so you got a lot of Civil War history here in the area. I grew up a little bit closer to the Harpers Ferry area, so you have an abundance of ghost stories that you can check out. One of the books I've read is West Virginia Ghost Stories by Ruth Ann Musick. That's a very entertaining read, especially for this time of the year.
Yeah, there's ghost tours here in Shepherdstown along with Harpers Ferry. I know that, so those are cool things you can do if you're in the spirit. But first down and 10 after the carry to Ronnie Brown.
And something I failed to mention in the first half, Ronnie Brown, over 1,000 rushing yards on the season.
There you go. He's had quite the year for the Rams. Really was their third back heading into last season, but due to some injuries and just the way he was able to play when they got him on the field, Ronnie Brown has quickly turned into one of the stars on this team. A 4-yard carry makes it second down and 6. Throw complete here to Brian Walker.
Oof. That might be my collision of the game right there. Brian Walker just trucked Ryan Deambra, try to come over and make that tackle. Deambra coming in, 6'1", 200. Yeah, you might not want to tap that helmet too hard. Tap me on the shoulder. I need to get out of here. He's giving up quite a bit of size on that play. Walker's 6'5", 240 pounds. Deambra, 6'1", 200 pounds.
First down and 10 now from midfield for Bajent and the Rams offense. Play action pass, flag comes flying in. Bajent extends the play and gets positive yardage. Wonder if this will be offsides against Bloomsburg. There's a flag here on the near side and on the far side. We'll see what the call is. It's a legal formation against Shepherd.
And a lot of times when you have too many guys in the backfield, usually you don't want to pick on them too much. Usually it's the offensive linemen because they're worried about the edge rush. Sometimes they'll kind of cheat a little bit off the line so they can get a better angle to protect their quarterback, and sometimes they'll get a little bit too far into the backfield and draw a penalty like that.
Ryan Beach, haven't seen him in a while, and he is now in street clothes on the sideline, so his day is done. Hopefully nothing too significant, and just want to hold him out due to the score and the fact that Shepherd has a lot of depth at that wide receiver position. As Bajent will throw here, complete to one of those depth pieces, and Dorner makes the catch out toward midfield. Will be second down and long still for Shepherd, about 2nd and 11 for the Rams. After the 4-yard pickup, under 13 minutes to go in this third quarter.
And that's something, we've talked about that during the course of the season. Ryan Beach doesn't seem to be himself so far this year. Last year just absolutely torched the PSAC with his explosive plays, but he really hasn't been that type of player so far this year. You realize the defense would probably have made that adjustment after getting a year of game tape, but just watching the way he moves out on the field, just something's not quite right with Ryan Beach this year.
Second down and 11 for the Rams from the 49. Bajent all day to throw again. It'll throw to Dorner again, who makes the catch at the first down. Sticks. He's going to be good whenever he gets more and more reps on this team, is Cam Dorner.
Dorner just doing a good job of working to space on that play. Excellent pass protection that time up front for the Rams. Tyson Bajent had a chance to survey the entire field and come back to Dorner, working under that deep safety coverage.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Bajent, play action, throws complete. There's Dorner again, and he takes a shot right at the sticks at the 25-yard line. He'll be a yard short of the first down, a 9-yard pickup. We'll make it 2nd down and 1. And we'll see him on the basketball court this year as well.
Darnell Hightower on the stop, and I'm surprised the referees haven't said something to him as far as pulling his jersey down, has that back flap exposed. It doesn't play much, so standing on the sideline, that's not going to catch too many eyes. But if you're out there on the field, I'm surprised the referees haven't said something to him yet.
Fisher in the game now to this near side for 2nd down and 1. Bajent will throw again, and he'll throw back toward the far side, and pass is complete on that far side. It's caught by Alfonso Foray, who continues to establish himself. It's another first down. It'll be first down And the ball will be placed at the 6, so first and goal here actually from the 5-yard line for the Rams.
The Huskies sideline wanting an offensive pass interference on that play. Well, like 4A got a little physical, pushing off the defender. The defender's still trying to work with the referees, like, say, hey, pushed me off. And usually when the wide receiver gets his hands extended like that, that usually draws that offensive pass interference call.
Dorner and 4A are the wide receivers. Blake Hartman's the back here on first and goal from the 5. Hartman to the right of Bajent. Dorner goes in motion. They'll do that little toss out to Dorner. Dorner gets inside the 5, looks for the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Another touchdown pass for Tyson Bajent, number 4 on the day. This one to Cam Dorner will make it 33-3 Shepherd with 10:36 to go in this third quarter. That's the same play they ran earlier.
Yeah. It's effective, if it ain't broke. Tyson Bajent, again, having another big day against Bloomsburg. Last year in his matchup versus the Huskies, completed 31 of 37 for 364 yards and 5 touchdowns. He certainly seems to be on that pace so far today.
Came into the day needing 9 touchdowns to break the record for the most in NCAA Division II by an individual player. The extra point from Jacob Haney is up and good, 34-3 Shepherd, 10:36 to go. Take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Want to earn your MBA but don't think you have time? Shepherd University offers 2 options for employed learners. Choose between our fully online or our in-person programs. You can earn your degree in the evenings while benefiting from Shepherd's top faculty. We're now accepting applications for next semester. Visit www.shepherd.edu/online radio or call 304-876-5313. Again, that's www.shepherd.edu/online radio.
We welcome you back to Shepherdstown, West Virginia on this Halloween weekend. It is Shepherd 34, Bloomsburg 3. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Senior day for the Rams, Military Appreciation Day as well. With a win, Shepherd secures the PSAC East Division. We'll head to East Stroudsburg next week to close out the regular season before the conference championship game, which as of right now will be played at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, as the West Division is the host. And here's a kickoff return out to around the 20-yard line. Looks like Howard came up and made that tackle. On the return for Bloom was Lundy Bird. So the Huskies coming back onto the field to begin their first drive of this second half after Tyson Bajent drove the Rams down the field for another touchdown. His 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. This one going to Cam Dorner. Continues to get better and better each week as a true freshman on this team.
Caleb Monaco back in the game at running back, and hats off to that young man with a heavily bandaged left hand. Has not affected his play so far today.
Riley play action, throws complete to Nas Jones, who has the first down for Bloomsburg. I'd be getting number 3 the ball a whole lot more in this offense.
He's just a big body, and they do it off of that RPO action where they do that zone read fake across the quarterback's face, and then you hit that quick pop pass over the middle. It's very tough to stop because those linebackers are going to be quick to react to that run fake, and what they do, they pull themselves out of position to make a play on the ball in the pass.
Here's Griffin Batchelor on the carry, and he doesn't find much room at all to the outside.
Malik Holloway gobbles him up. He's been quiet so far today, but if you run at him, he's going to be there to rise to the occasion to make the tackle.
Holloway and Kyle Smith, 2 of those guys with experience that returned on this defense, along with Pena. Really, besides that, it's pretty much all newcomers in terms of starters. I mean, these guys have been in the program, a lot of them, but some of them just never really got much playing time. Here's a pass complete to Jones. He is brought down on the play, short of the first down sticks by Emilio Pena. Dante Harrison in coverage as well. And on that tackle, it will be 3rd down from the 46-yard line of Bloomsburg. Coming up on 9:10 to go in this third quarter.
They have Jones listed as an H-back, but they used him more as a conventional wide receiver.
Monaco is the back here. Riley will pitch it to Monaco, and he does not get to the edge. Dwayne Grantham and Keyshawn Haley, the first two to slow him down. Malik Holloway coming up and pushing him out of bounds, short of the first down sticks. No, they'll give him a first down. I thought he was going to be short.
It was second effort. He did a good job. He actually looked like he put his good hand down in the turf to kind of steady himself, and then he was able to lunge forward to pick up that first down. They've done a good job of running that option off of the edge, and that Rams defense just so quick to get to the point of attack is, impressive that the Huskies have been able to get some yards on the perimeter.
Move the ball to the 48-yard line. They will run Monaco again, and Dwayne Grantham that time swallows him up. Back to the line of scrimmage, Kyle Smith cleaning things up for Shepherd. It'll be second down and 10.
Usually when you run those read type of plays, you're reading one defender. It's usually one defender that can make or break the play, but the Rams, they flatter the ball so well. There's like three dudes waiting there after the quarterback makes the fake. So there is no read that you can make. If you give it, he's going to get tackled. If you pull it, you're going to get tackled.
Monaco remains the back here on second down and 10. 7:44 to go in this third quarter. Riley takes the low snap, throws over the middle, and what a catch on the play by Griffin Batchelor. It's a first down. Bloomsburg, a great one-handed snag by number 1.
Batchelor been quiet so far today, and he's been one of the players that have stood out somewhat on the offensive side of the ball for the Huskies this season. Coming into today's game, like we mentioned, can do it running the ball and carrying the ball.
There's a toss play out to Monaco. Monaco running hard to the outside. First down and 10 now after the first down and 10 play from the 24. It'll be second down here for Bloomsburg. Gain about 4 on the play. Second down and 6 from the 20. 7:15 to go in this third quarter. It is Shepherd 34, Bloomsburg 3, but the Huskies are driving down the field here. We'll run a little double reverse with Anderson, and Anderson trying to find room, but that's not going to work against the Shepherd defense. Dante Harrison strings him out, and then finishing off the play was Omari Terry. It'll be third down.
Like we mentioned, opportunity for the Rams to start to develop some of their depth. They're certainly making the most of that opportunity and their time out there on the field. And again, the Rams defense, you might catch them out of position initially, but they're so quick to read and react, and they have the athleticism to close that distance. Just tough. You figure that they're so quick to react to the ball. It makes sense. In the football textbook, it makes sense to run a misdirection, but it just doesn't work against this group.
3rd and 5. Riley again pitches it to Monaco. Monaco should be close to the first down. I think he has it, and he does. Move those chains for Bloomsburg. Another good long drive for the Huskies. Just haven't had enough consistency with these drives to really keep up with Shepherd. Down 34-3 here with about 6 minutes 20 seconds to go in this third quarter.
And that was the first time that we saw Ayers and Monaco on the field at the same time.
First and goal from the 9. Monaco is the back, lined up behind Riley. They'll turn around, give it to Riley, or Monaco, excuse me, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Bloomsburg, to make it 34-9 with about 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Nothing fancy on that play. Bloomsburg lines up in 21 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and they run behind the fullback and the tight end on that play. Ayers doing a good job going up into the hole, gobbling up the linebacker. Monaco quick to find that gap in the defense and punch it in for the first touchdown for the Huskies today.
So extra point coming on here for Bloomsburg, which will make it a 24-point game, and the extra point is up, and it is good. Shepherd 34, Bloomsburg 10. We'll keep it here. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Happy to have you with us for Shepherd Rams football action on Senior Day, Military Appreciation Day as well. Good crowd on hand on the Shepherd side of the field. Knowing that this is the last regular season home game, a very good chance that Shepherd will end up being the #1 team in Region 1. So if that does happen. Of course, there'll be more home games come playoff time. But a win today, again, secures the PSAC East Championship for Shepherd. They'll then head to East Stroudsburg to try to secure that one spot in the region, probably at least heading into the PSAC Championship game, which, as we mentioned, is currently against Indiana University of Pennsylvania. But all that is down the line. The Rams did beat IUP last year pretty well in the game that we went up there to for that matchup, but these are obviously different teams a year later. Shepherd well in control here, 34-10. About 6 minutes to go. Monaco cops off a good touchdown drive for Bloomsburg, and our scoring drives are brought to you by Jason Barrett for State Senate. Vote to cut the car tax. Vote Jason Barrett in November. Getting close to Election Day. Shepherd up by 24. Kerrigan's kickoff goes deep to Ronnie Brown, who will field it. And Ronnie Brown, if he gets it, can do damage. Ronnie Brown across the 25 now, still has some room. If he can beat this guy to the outside, this could be trouble. Ronnie Brown out across the 35, trying to stay in bounds there.
He's looking back across the elevator. Everything's a possibility with Ronnie Brown. He's looking to make something happen on that play.
Sometimes it hurts him on these kickoffs.
It does. He's had a couple fumbles when kickoff returns.
But, I mean, he has such an ability to break anything that you got to keep him back there unless it becomes like a real serious issue where he just consistently is doing too much. But I think Ronnie has understood that to this point in the season. First down and 10 for Shepherd at the 40-yard line to begin this drive. Brown is the back to the left of Bajent. 3 receivers set. E.J. Morgan, the guy to the near side here, as Bajent will hand it off to Ronnie Brown. He'll run off the right side and get it across the 45-yard line. Those are the kind of runs that you didn't see really from Ronnie Brown at the beginning of the season, Travis, but now as the season goes on, he's just taking what the defense gives him.
Absolutely. It's just the natural maturation process of a running back, and Coach McCook, I think, really kind of summed it up succinctly when he said, you want to make the ordinary plays extraordinary, and Ronnie Brown certainly taking that to heart with his running style.
We'll go Brown again here on 2nd and 5, and there is an extraordinary run for Mr. Ronnie Brown into Bloomsburg territory down to the 38-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Shepherd.
And it looked like the exact same play as it was before, but when you do that consistently over the course of a game, those 4 and 5 yard runs are going to start to turn into 6 and 7 yard runs, and when you got jets like Ronnie Brown, every play is a potential touchdown, but you got to make the basic plays first in order for those big plays to come naturally.
Now here's Blake Hartman. He'll get a touch. Hartman following blockers. Hartman a big carry. Look at the speed of Blake Hartman all the way into the Bloomsburg red zone. Goes number 8.
And Hartman's just kind of leapfrogged Holly on that depth chart, and you see why on that play. I just believe Hartman just has an extra gear that Holly doesn't have. Also, Hartman, very good hands out of the backfield, and what a wicked 1-2 punch you have when you have Ronnie Brown. And when he gets tired of making big plays for you, you can bring in Blake Hartman, and he'll make big plays for you.
1st and 10 now from the 15-yard line. Bajent will throw for the first time on this drive and find Marlon Cook, his favorite target this season. Cook inside the 10 before he's tackled on the play by Long and Colin McLaughlin. Not actually Colin, but number 10, who we don't know who he is because he's not on the roster. So we just refer to him as Colin McLaughlin because who else would you rather be?
Well, there you go.
3:55 to go in this third quarter. Bajent sending McCook in motion from left to right. Hartman remains the back. They'll turn around, give it to Blake Hartman. Hartman lowering the shoulder, dragging defenders.
Push
Look
the
at
pile.
Blake Hartman run.
Just your basic zone play to the right. You have McCook as that kick-out block on the backside. A good run action. You trust your running back to make their read and find the hole. What else you do? You set up that play action pass for later on. So you do that same action, but instead of that fullback kicking out on the backside, he slips out into the flats and catches a wide open pass, and McCook has kind of made a living off of that here during his time with the Shepherd University Rams.
First and goal from the 3. Ronnie Brown comes back in. You would imagine he might be getting this carry here. Bajan.
There you go, 2 tight end set. Unusual look for Shepherd. It was a 2 tight end set with 2 wide receivers lined up to the wide side of the field. So you have a run-heavy look in the front, in the box, and then you got 2 wide receivers out wide where they can do all kinds of stuff.
So we got 3 minutes to go here, and we will have a timeout. Shepherd driving all the way down here to the 3-yard line. As we mentioned, Tyson Bajan entered today, approaching that touchdown record, just 9 touchdowns total away. He has 4 today, so now he is 5 away from breaking. I joked on the Sports Mix this week that he could break it today if he wanted to, and it's not too far out of the possibility, but he probably won't break it. But certainly getting closer and closer to that. Our third quarter here on TV 10 with about 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Wrapping things up here before Shepherd advances to what would be a 9-0 record. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Ronnie Brown remains the running back. McCook, the tight end spot there in the fullback, also, along with Brian Walker.
And Max Fisher also checked in the game.
And Marlon Cook is the receiver here to the near side. Bajan claps his hands, and that brings Fisher in motion. They'll look to throw, throwing back shoulder for Marlon Cook, and he hauls it in for the touchdown. Seen that play about 1,000 times, it feels like, this season. Marlon Cook, one-on-one with the defender, and he usually wins. Touchdown, Shepherd, 40-10 Rams with 3:01 to go in this third quarter.
That time, Colin McLaughlin just isolated out there on an island, going against Cook, just having a...
It's a tough matchup.
We know McLaughlin is a tenacious defender. Sometimes that size differential is just tough to make up for.
Jacob Haney on to attempt this extra point, and the kick is up.
Low snap, good hold.
And good. Yeah, Hutchinson's done a good job for the most part on these holds. So it is 41-10 Shepherd, and we will take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Want to earn your MBA but don't think you have time? Shepherd University offers 2 options for employed learners. Choose between our fully online or our in-person programs. You can earn your degree in the evenings while benefiting from Shepherd's top faculty. We're now accepting applications for next semester. Visit www.shepherd.edu/online radio or call 304-876-5313. Again, that's www.shepherd.edu/online radio.
All right, our third quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg, or call 304-263-3361. Along with Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to hagerstownford.com. 3 minutes to go, 41-10 Shepherd, and Jacob Haney will kick it away for the Rams. It's a low kick fielded here on the near side by Lundy Bird, and Lundy Bird gets tripped up around the 30-yard line. So Bloomsburg back on the field offensively. Bloomsburg was able to get into the end zone on that last drive. Monaco with the touchdown run. 41-10 Shepherd, 2:51 to go in the third quarter.
And nothing really fancy that time on the last drive for the Huskies. They just lined up, ran the ball effectively. There was that big, spectacular catch that time by Griffin Batchelor over the middle, the one-hand snag, nominee for electrifying play of the game.
Riley in the shotgun formation. We'll go play action, throw it over the middle, and a tip pass and incomplete. Pretty good throw, but Jerry Griffin Batchelor couldn't make the catch.
He used 2 hands on that one, couldn't make the catch. He made the one-handed catch early on.
That's true.
But that RPO action, again, it's just tough to stop. You have to honor that run fake. Monaco is a quality football player, so you have to respect his ability to run the ball. So those linebackers have to take that read step, and that pulls them out of position just enough for the quarterback to squeeze that ball into the slot wide receiver, just the slot wide receiver, not able to pull it in. They have not done their quarterbacks any favors today.
2nd and 10 from the 29. They'll run Monaco off the left side and just doesn't get it upfield quick enough as the Shepherd defense flies to the football to make the play. Be 3rd and long.
We've seen that run action before in today's game, but K.J. Riley choosing to give it on that one. I guess he got tired of getting smacked in the face when he pulled it and ran up the middle. You know, I'm going to go ahead and let Monaco take a little bit of this outside. Maybe he'll have better luck than I have so far.
Right. I believe Cedric Olfrey was the one to make that tackle. And Shepherd's starting to get in some rotational and second-string defensive players. Riley throwing on the far side, incomplete. Flag comes flying in from the backfield. I believe Riley is slow to get up. Hopefully this isn't a roughing the passer if you're a Rams fan here. It looked like he took a shot, though. So I think that might be the call. Riley appears to be all right. No, it's going against Bloomsburg.
So holding number 75 for Bloomsburg. That will be the young freshman, John Snipes, that filled in for Alan Snyder earlier in the game. He's filled in for a couple of different spots up there on the O-line and drew the holding penalty on that play. And sometimes when a play gets extended a little bit longer than what you're used to, that clock's going off in their head, and sometimes you just got to grab some jersey and hope for the best.
Here's the punt, a low kick. Rodney Dorsey will let it bounce. It will roll all the way inside the 25-yard line.
The punter took a shot, but they didn't call anything. So usually that's odd because they usually did that rugby-style punt earlier in the game, but that time he just lined up normally, but the blocking up front didn't change because they were overloaded to the left, to one side, and the punter rolled out to that side.
That's what led to the blocked kick earlier, I think, was something similar. And Shepherd got some pressure on him there, Travis, to potentially block another one. But the Rams are back on the field offensively, leading 41-10. We got about 1:53 to go in this third quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Our on-site producer, Colin McLaughlin, on camera tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, Daryl Miller, along with Dylan Bishop, and Braden Schoffer, and down on the sidelines is Dylan Bishop. Back in the studio, Spencer Dupuy, who we will hear from following this ball game with some score updates for you. Tyson Bagent throwing over the middle, complete to Alfonso Foray in stride. Foray has a nice catch and run across the 34.
Tackle made that time by Nate Capers, the 6'3", 190-pound sophomore from Warriorsford, PA.
Capers has made a lot of tackles here today, playing a good role for this Bloomsburg defense. Page in the offense has it 1st down and 10. Continue to see Foray make some big plays for the Rams offensively. Page throwing to Rodney Dorsey, complete across the 40.
Very similar to the plays that we've seen the Huskies have success on, where you just that zone read fake across the quarterback's fake, and then he throws that little pop pass to the slot wide receiver. Sometimes it could be a tight end, but it's just a quick, basic action, and it's tough for that defense to stop.
Seems like that's really been the way Shepherd has operated all season. There haven't been a ton of long pass plays on deep passes. Like runs after the catch, yes, here goes Ronnie Brown. Always dangerous when he has the football. Another 1st down for Brown across or into Bloomsburg territory down to about the 40. But, it seemed like last year we had a lot more deep balls. Marlon Cook had that one against Kutztown, and then since then I can't remember any really.
But you just identified the reason why. Other teams also saw that tendency last year, so that's why they're playing back. That's why you see the Huskies, they're bailing out so much, and that's why you see so many of those passes are being successful underneath for this Rams offense.
And maybe why when you look at Bagent's numbers, they're not quite as ridiculous as they were last year. Here's a pass for Dorsey, incomplete. Still really good numbers, though, as the penalty flag comes in. should be pass interference, very similar to one called on Keyshawn Haley. Actually, that was offsetting, though, for Shepherd, so it didn't result in a penalty, but a very similar type situation there.
And this time the guilty party, Luke Jealous, just you didn't get your head around. So when you're in the wide receiver's chest that time and Bajan trying to throw a little bit of a back shoulder on that play, and the defender, you have to get your head around it, and that's a tough, because all of your instincts are you're just trained to look at your assignment. You want to read your key and lock up the guy that you're supposed to be guarding in coverage, but you got to trust your athleticism and get your head around and look for that football. And Dorsey is doing a good job of drawing the foul. Sometimes, the wide receiver, they made the savvy play working back into the defender and drawing that penalty.
1st and 10 from the 25. Bajan will hand it off to Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown still on his feet inside the 5-yard line before he's finally brought down. Another first down for the Rams. It'll be 1st and goal, Shepherd.
And the Rams power run play as good as anybody in the PSAC. That time McCook was the kick-out block. And the blocks up front able to get it done as well. Big Joey Fisher leading the way up in the middle.
Final play of the 3rd quarter. It is Shepherd 41, Bloomsburg 10. We will step aside for a 60-second break, and when we return, with more Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 60.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
We welcome you back to Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Shepherd leading Bloomsburg here 41-10, 15 minutes to go, and this as we begin the 4th quarter. Rams on the doorstep of another touchdown. Tyson Bajan already with 5 today.
I believe so.
And
it's just a steadiness and a poise that you see on the offensive side of the ball for Shepherd. Really not trying to force the issue. Again, they're going up against the opponent where the opponent is overmatched. But what you like to see is that the Rams are just patient and being methodical in their offensive attack today.
Bajan will give it to Ronnie Brown, and he goes in untouched for 6. Touchdown Rams, 47-10. A 14:56 to go in the 4th quarter. Shepherd just continues to beat up on Bloomsburg on Senior Day.
You see the offensive line, they get so fired up when that running game is clicking. That touchdown is as much credit to the offensive line as it is to the running back who will get credit for it in the stat sheet. But that offensive line, they have certainly imposed their will here in the second half today. And when you're able to run the ball that well, it sets up the play-action pass. This Rams offense is just a tough out on offense.
Extra point from Haney is up and good. We'll keep it here with Shepherd on top 48-10. And Travis, as great as last season's offense was, one thing that I'd say is a little bit different. It seems like Shepherd has the ability to not only put up a ton of points, but also milk the clock more than they did last year. Last year we talked about the big plays. Maybe those are lacking this year. But when you don't have big plays and you're still putting up 45 points almost every week, it shows that Shepherd has the ability to control the game, control the clock, and move the ball down out the field in a lot of different ways.
You want to know who enjoys that change the most?
The defense,
exactly, because they're able to, one, go over there, catch their breath, and make adjustments. And that's why you've seen the defense really be really stingy this year, whereas last year it was a lot of times the offense had to put up a lot of points and they scored quickly, but what it did is put that defense back out there on the field, and they also gave up a lot of points. So that running game is as much a friend to the offense as it is to the defense, just because it gives those guys a chance to kind of get their composure, regroup on the sidelines, and really tweak that attack when they come back out on the field on defense.
That wasn't necessarily the case at the beginning of the year, as here's a kickoff return by Bird. Bird still on his feet. Could be some trouble here. He gets away from several Shepherd players. It'll be great field position for Bloomsburg after the nice kick return from Lundy Bird. Our fourth quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361, along with Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, 48-10 Shepherd, 14:44 to go in this fourth quarter. KJ Riley and the Bloomsburg offense on the field. It's first down and 10. They will run the ball off the right side. Keyshawn Haley, Dwayne Grantham coming up and making that tackle for Shepherd. Monaco on the carry.
And again, they put Ayers in at fullback, and he's showing that he's just as willing being a lead blocker as he is running the ball. You can always appreciate that when a running back's willing to be an impact in the game in all aspects of the game, as far as running, blocking, and catching.
Riley will take the snap, pitch it to Monaco. Sheds off one tackler, and then a big hit by Dwayne Grantham.
If we've seen the Huskies use that option earlier in the game, they've made a slight adjustment to it. Now they have Ayers in, so now they have a lead block out there running that option, and it puts a little bit more pressure. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Not that time. Not with number 3 and number 7. Those two, and Grantham and Haley, have just filled the box on a lot of plays today and a lot of plays throughout the season, along with Devin Lynch as well.
And Haley runs that alley as good as any safety in the PSAC.
Third down and 11 for Bloomsburg. Riley rolling to the left, will throw a wobbly pass. Might have got tipped by the Rams.
Like Nathaniel Muley.
Yeah, Muley in there.
And he fought off a double team and still got pressure on the quarterback and still got his hand up to block that play. He was not to be denied.
So 4th and 11. Kerrigan will punt again for Bloomsburg with 13:26 to go. Shepherd back deep to return. Rodney Dorsey standing at about the 27-yard line. Kerrigan will punt it here from the 44 of Bloomsburg. It's a good punt. High kick. First real high one today from Kerrigan, and Dorsey will field and try to return, and Bloomsburg is all over it. One of the guys in there, I believe, was John Aston.
Also, Luke Jellis was also in on the tackle. They've changed up a couple of things. It seems like they're still trying to work out the kinks on that punt unit. Again, early in the game, they did that rugby-style punt where they were getting pressure. Then looked like there may have been a miscommunication between the punter and the protection up front, where the Rams were able to get a lot of pressure on those punts. And now Bloomsburg going to a more conventional, just lining up and booming it down the field. And like you mentioned, that was their biggest and best punt so far today.
The entire second unit is on the field for Shepherd. New offensive line, and Etchison is in at quarterback, and there's Avon Holly carrying defenders for a first down run. See Dorner out there along with some other young receivers, and Daryl Harper, a guy they're excited about, scored a touchdown in the Lockhaven game. Jack Rosnage is in at tight end, the converted defensive lineman. The offensive line is all second string. Typically, Shepherd doesn't bring in the second string offensive line too often, but you see that group out there here for first down 10 from the 25. Etchison will take the snap, hand it off to Avon Holly. Holly stutter steps and finds some room across the 30. Good run there by Holly before he's brought down on the play by Kenny Yurkornis.
And again, an opportunity for the Rams to develop some depth. You know, injuries are a part of the game, so you want to have yourself covered just in case one of your starters goes down and you have to go to a backup. It's always beneficial if that backup has had some live game experience. You know, you want to work hard in practice, but nothing really replaces those live game reps.
We had Christian Edgington on Monday Night Mayhem this week. Good to speak to him about kind of what a backup quarterback's job is when they're not in the game. And there was some interesting stuff. Avon Holly there on the carry for the first down run. Edgington, of course, has been the backup here for some time and has really established himself now as a leader on this team. He enjoys, you know, leading this second unit where a lot of the young guys are, and one of the guys that's gotten into games quite a bit in his career due to, well, playing behind the best player in the country is going to allow you to do that, especially at the quarterback position, because a lot of these games aren't very close. Edgington takes the snap. Will go Holly again, running off the right side, or that is Russell, on the carry, and Nazir Russell gets taken out of bounds, and surprise, no flag there.
Chris Monaco coming up on the tackle. And Edgington saw the blitz. The Huskies showing blitz off the edge. So he made a slight adjustment at the line, and realizing that you're probably not going to have enough time to get the ball off, elected to go ahead and hand the ball off to the running back. Nazir Russell he was able to get about a yard or so on the play. But the Huskies were quick to rally.
Well, up on 10:40 to play in this fourth quarter. Second down and 9 for the Rams from the 36. Edgington will throw for the first time today, or at least look to throw. Now take it and run and get across the 35 and then be brought down on the play. Looks like Long coming up and making the tackle, and now some pushing and shoving on that far side between the two teams.
Like you mentioned, Edgington is popular with those second group guys. So those offensive linemen, they're standing up for their quarterback. That time Edgington gets taken down in an awkward fashion. Those offensive linemen not taking too kindly to somebody manhandling their quarterback like that. And sometimes you got to go in there and be the goon and let that defense know you're not going to put your hands on my quarterback. That's something you'll take. If something spilled, you'll take that.
No flags coming in for either side here on third down. And, of course, Edgington as well, a former lacrosse player. Was recruited to play lacrosse, ended up at Shepherd because, well, they were the only ones that recruited him for football because, well, a lot of teams thought he was going to go play lacrosse, but decided to play football here at Shepherd, and it's worked out well for him. As we got third down and a timeout here. Third and about 9 for the Rams, 9:47 to go in this fourth quarter.
You see Coach McCook rallying his troops, letting them know things are going to get a bit chippy at this point in the game. You have a big lead, but what you don't want to do is do something foolish that's going to cause you to miss games due to suspension, or you don't want to go out there and get involved in something and you get hurt and you could possibly miss a lot more games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you're the team in the lead as well, there's no reason for you to get involved in something like that, because that's essentially just their frustration carrying over, and you have no reason to be frustrated. You're winning 48-10. 9:47 to go in this fourth quarter. Edgington in the pistol. Russell is the back behind him. And Edgington will look to throw. Dumps it down to Nazir Russell, who's got blockers in front, but he took it back toward the middle. Probably should have stayed here to the outside and followed big number 71 for Shepherd, which is Brandon Carr.
That was Aaron Trumino coming up on the stop for Bloomsburg. We've seen that swing pass. It's a swing pass, and it's kind of a screen. One of the unique plays that Rams offense likes to run. A lot of times, Ronnie Brown is the running back that's on the end of that catch. We know what he can do with the ball in his hands, but just a high percentage play, just something to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, get him into a rhythm, and get him a little bit of confidence going as well.
Shepherd will punt for what I believe is the first time today. Ryan Barrick will kick it away, and Barrick sends it. Fair catch called for and fielded by Lundy Bird, and it will be Bloomsburg taking over, flag on the play.
So I'm not sure if they hit the returner or the returner didn't give them a good enough fair catch signal. You want to talk about like the Rams special teams. So you have the punt team that rarely sees the field, and then you have the kickoff team that's probably on the field more than the defense. So in terms of usage, it's kind of out of whack a little bit. But I'm sure Coach McCook is happy with that arrangement.
Yeah, and I mean, we have the punt unit getting a penalty there for running into the fair catch interference. But I don't want to say it's necessarily unfortunate, but maybe unfortunate for the person involved. Ryan Barrick is one of the best punters in the PSAC. He just doesn't have to punt very often. So he never really gets that recognition because, well, he's on the best offense in the country.
You know, players always want to get on the field. I wonder if the punter's over there lobbying.
And he's not the holder either, so it's just like he suits up. But does the punter ever lobby to go out there?
I don't know.
It's not like the
That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell if he does.
Hey, Coach, I know it's third down, but
they won't be expecting
we can flip the field here. Riley takes the snap, hands it off to Ayers running up the middle. McCoy in on that tackle.
That wasn't Ayers. That was Logan Simmons that has checked into the game. Number 31, the 5'11", 200-pound freshman running back. Coming into today's game, had 35 carries on the year for 113 yards. Also got a lot of work last week versus East Stroudsburg. Had 10 carries for 35 yards. Also had a catch for 4 yards. So you certainly see the size profile that Bloomsburg is looking for out of their running backs. 5'10", 200 pounds. Check them out.
3-yard carry on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 7. Here is a handoff to the wide receiver, Peyton Persing.
Good job that time by Amari Terry diagnosing that play and coming up. He absolutely blew up the lead block on that play and forcing the ball carrier to bounce it outside for a minimal gain.
Terry has played well when he's gotten into these games late. An exciting young freshman. What's interesting is even when the game gets out of hand, we see a lot of Devin Lynch still out there, and I think that's because he's the defensive. He calls the plays on defense. He's kind of the captain there on the inside, and he is really the only starter out there. Him and Kauser, who rotates in and out depending on situation. They'll run it up the middle.
And just Lynch's experience lends himself to being that signal caller on the defensive side of the ball. Has experience at being a defensive back, has now been moved up into the box to play some linebacker, so he's going to have a pretty good feel for what all those groups are doing, because when you get out there, that front seven is almost operating independently of your defensive backs. So if you have a guy that can kind of bridge that gap between the two groups, it's only a benefit to your defense.
Player injured on the field for Bloomsburg. About 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. It is Shepherd 48, Bloomsburg 10. McPherson, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Daryl Miller on camera. Our end zone cam is Braden Schaffner. Down on the sideline is Dylan Bishop. Kyle McLaughlin, our on-site producer. Bang in the studio, Spencer Dupuis. You'll hear from Spencer with the scoreboard show after this game, as it looks like injured on the play was Raymond Jackson Bay, and he comes to his feet and is able to get off on his own power.
Now starting to see some of the reserves for Bloomsburg. Jackson Bay, 6'2", 268-pound sophomore.
Fourth and 3 from the 45. Bloomsburg will be forced to kick it away or punt it away with Kevin Kerrigan again. Always has been a kind of an adventure today with these punts. from Kerrigan, whether they be rugby style or just good pressure from the Shepherd punt return unit. High kick, not very far. Dorsey lets it go out of bounds around the 28-yard line, 29. And Shepherd will take back over with Christian Etchison in the offense. They'll mark it out at the 31, and that's where Shepherd will return to action offensively. With about 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. It is Shepherd 48, Bloomsburg 10. Nick Verzley alongside me, Travis Smith. Unfortunately, Travis, we will not be there next week for Shepherd at East Stroudsburg due to really two factors. One, East Stroudsburg didn't have room for us anyway, but we won't have the broadcast at all because, well, we got Martinsburg football. They now play Saturday at noon. Originally, they thought they were playing Friday night, but then found out the team they are playing in Bishop Ironton does not have lights, so can't play Friday night without lights, as there's Avon Holly for a first down carry. So we'll be at Martinsburg next Saturday as the Rams are securing the PSAC East Division as we speak. So our next broadcast will be that PSAC championship game, whether we'll be there in person for IUP. I would hope so. We've been there before. But if not, we'll do what we did last week against Westchester. We'll bring it to you that way.
At the friendly confines of TV10 Studios.
Yes. Dustin Fisher going down here with an injury. The brother of Joey Fisher. Got to walk out with him on senior day. And some injuries kind of piling on here. The officials were telling Fisher just to go down after he clearly was not 100%.
And that's always a struggle when a guy gets dinged up, and, you know, they're competitors and they want to walk off the field in their own power. But you're doing yourself and your team a favor. When you're injured, just go down. They can stop the game. We're not rushing to get somebody in the field or off the field. Let the medical people come out there, check you out, make sure you're not going to do any more damage, like trying to walk off by yourself. So it's always tough to try to convince a player, hey, buddy, just take a knee. Let the trained professionals take care of it, and that way we can not only take care of your injury, we can also get our personnel adjusted because you're coming out of the game.
It does definitely help, and Fisher more of a blocking tight end. Be interested to see how that tight end position plays out next year for Shepherd because Brian Walker will be gone. The two guys, as they list as the second and third, are Dustin Fisher, who's kind of a fullback / tight end, and Jack Rosnich, who's a converted D lineman. So,
and the Rams have enjoyed quite a run of awesome tight ends.
Will probably take over will be Kason Lanza, the freshman from Jefferson High School, who's a tall, lengthy, more of a Brian Walker type player. But with him being a freshman, they don't want to probably use his eligibility yet. So, because in Division II, unlike Division I, you don't get those 4 games with the red shirt. In Division II, it's the older rules where if you step on the field, your red shirt is gone. So they'll run Avon Holly here off the left side before he's stacked up. A little bit more pushing and shoving after the play as things wind down here in this fourth quarter. 5:55 to go and counting. That's about midfield for Shepherd.
Talking about that line of tight ends for the Rams, you go back to DJ Cornish. Then last year you had Alex Wetzel. Brian Walker's really emerged this year. So you've had some really good tight ends go through this Shepherd Rams program. And like you mentioned, there's going to be a big hole there. But if this year's proof of anything is that the Rams really don't have any problems as far as reloading or bringing in talent. And that's a credit to how they go out and recruit and develop the players once they get them in the building.
5:18 to go in the fourth quarter. We got Shepherd timeout. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do
is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
We welcome you back to Shepherdstown, West Virginia, here at Rams Stadium. Shepherd on top 48-10. Etchison in the shotgun formation. Avon Holly is the back. And they'll go to Holly, and he is stuffed. Looks like Billy Martin the third in there for Bloomsburg, along with several others.
Also Jameer Red in on the play. 6'1", 230-pound senior from Middlesex, New Jersey.
Be third down here. And about 4. Under 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Shepherd on top by 38 points. Etchison in the offense moving the ball. 2 receivers there to the far side. Dorner may be the guy to watch here on third down to the near side of Holly, the back to his left. Etchison does look to throw, dumps it down. There is Cam Dorner. Dorner has the first down and more, staying in bounds and keeping the play alive. Look at Cam Dorner taking a page out of Ronnie Brown's playbook and keeps things going inside the 25-yard or 35-yard line goes Cam Dorner.
And Dorner showing some veteran savvy on that play, doing that shallow drag, and didn't come flying off the ball right away. Kind of slowly eased into his route. Then once he flattened it off, then he accelerated to create that separation underneath. And Etchison, that's an easy pitch and catch for him.
So first down, Shepherd will keep control of the football. Holly the back behind Etchison. They will go Avon Holly. He'll lower the boom on the Bloomsburg defenders. A second down.
Dorner, like I said, like only a freshman, but showed a lot of savvy on that one. But just slow playing it and finding that empty spot on the field and making the most with the run after the catch.
4-yard pickup. Since he scored that touchdown, he's kind of gotten more opportunities and just really you see the talent there and does seem very patient as a wide receiver. Russell the back here on second down after the 3-yard pickup. We go Russell. Russell finds a hole. Nazir Russell is going to take this one into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. He got one against Lockhaven, and he'll get one there to extend the Rams' lead with 2:56 to go in this fourth quarter. It is now Shepherd 54, Bloomsburg 10 with the extra point unit running.
Great block downfield that time by Darryl Harper. Just locking up the defender. A lot of times when you get big plays in the run game, it's because your wide receivers are putting in work down the field, blocking for that running back, and that time Harper was down there just absolutely manhandling the defender just enough for the running back to cut it back and take it in for another touchdown.
Jacob Haney's extra point is up. It is good. Shepherd 55. Bloomsburg 10, 2:56 to go. We'll take a 30-second break and return with more Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com. Easy there. We welcome you back here to Rams Stadium. 2:56 to go in this fourth quarter. It is 55-10. Rams on top. Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith. Happy to have you with us. Don McLaughlin, our on-site producer. Daryl Miller on camera, along with Braden Schaffner And Dylan Bishop down on the sideline. Spencer Dupuis, our producer, back in the studio. Here's the high kick from Haney to avoid a major return, because Bloomsburg's had some good returns here in the second half, and that does its job. Looks like Lindsey was in there for the Rams on the tackle. Flag coming in here late.
That was Omar Terry, was locked up with a Joseph Kahn. The referee's not having any of it. Like you mentioned, that pooch kick. Starting to see that become more and more popular in today's game. You're kicking the ball to somebody that's not used to fielding that ball, and then there's the decision. Do you try to run it and get into the return that was called from the sideline, or in the interest of self-preservation, do you just take the ball where you catch it or get out of bounds? Because, I mean, your team's going to have good field position either way, but you certainly don't want to take a hard shot.
So Terry, the one penalized there for the unsportsmanlike.
Usually always the second guy. It looked like Joseph Kahn kind of baited him into that, where he just had him locked up after the play, just had a handful of jersey, and Terry wasn't having any of it. But again, that's a lesson that the freshman's going to have to learn. It's always the second guy that gets penalized.
New quarterback in the game for Bloomsburg looks to be Timothy LaSmith, the new quarterback here. With 2:51 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd with a commanding 55-10 lead over the Bloomsburg Huskies. Bloomsburg will fall to 3-6, while the Rams will move to 9-0 for a matchup next week with East Strasburg, who just beat this Bloomsburg team a week ago. Well, Smith takes the snap. There's that pitch play. And not much room. Good tackle on the play for Shepherd's Kalen Perez.
Logan Simmon again with the carry. And again, you look at those running backs for Bloomsburg, and all of them about the same size. All of them right around 5'10", 200 pounds. So, but these coaches are going out recruiting. They're looking for some guys that are going to check the boxes as far as their physical stature.
Here's a fake to the man in motion. Well, Smith takes it himself before he's tackled right at the first down marker.
I bid on the fake. I didn't think he kept the ball. I was watching that time like Janari Carroll was about ready to make the tackle. I was about ready to compliment him on doing a good job taking down the wide receiver. And Les Smith takes the ball up the middle.
Richie Aguilar, the man to make the tackle there on Les Smith. Well, I guess in some ways it's still a good job by Perez to take his assignment on the play.
Absolutely, and that's what you have to do in a lot of those zone read fakes, or you're going against a team that has a lot of ball fakes. You have to stay disciplined.
Smith finding a little bit of room off that right side there. Clock continues to roll here. Under a minute 25 to go in this one. 2nd down and 7. Shepherd up by 45. LaSmith takes the snap, fumbles, and it's recovered by the Rams.
And there you go. That's another problem that goes with those zone read fakes.
Having quite a lot today.
Yeah, I mean, you try to work on that during the course of the practice week. Working on mesh. You want to time up those jet sweeps. You want to work on mesh with the quarterback and the running back. Where are you going to hand the ball off at? And that's one of the critical things that you have to get down. If you want to use those zone read type of actions in the backfield, you have to have a sure-handed quarterback that knows how to make that decision. And it's just a tough call for the quarterback, because you're having to not look where you're handing the ball, because you have to make your read on whether you're going to pull it or whether you're going to give it. And sometimes you're going to have those mistakes, and it's just the growing pains of having young quarterbacks running that zone read offense.
Janari Carroll, the man to recover that fumble for Shepherd, the redshirt freshman from Hagerstown, Maryland.
All right, we got the seniors out on the field for the victory formation.
Bajan takes the snap and takes the knee. Have to take one more of those. So the Rams will move to 9-0 and will win the PSAC East Division no matter what. They don't have to have the Kutztown loss to win it now. It's just Shepherd has won the East, because the worst you can do is one loss, and that would still, for the tiebreaker, put you ahead of Kutztown. So we'll wait for the Bajent kneel down number 2, and that is the final one he'll have to do. Shepherd wins on Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day. Tyson Bajent's last regular season home game, and it will secure the first ever Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference East Division title for the Rams with the 55-10 win over Bloomsburg. Travis, a fun one and a kind of a historic day, not only because of that championship, but also the last regular season home game for Tyson Bajent and so many other talented seniors on this football team.
Certainly seems like this regular season is flying by.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when things are going that well, it has that tendency. And again, it's just awesome to see that this team, as good as they are, just continue to develop and get better. You're seeing just different aspects and different players emerge. As we said, like you get in these lopsided games and it gives some opportunities to some guys that are buried down on the bench, and they're able to go out there and they're playing hungry, they're playing with an edge, and they're going out there trying to make some plays and catch the coach's eye because they want to start getting some more playing time when a little bit more is on the line. So, again, this Shepherd Rams team able to rise to the occasion, not overlooking anybody, and right now just continuing that march until that PSAC championship game.
Looks like Dylan is standing by with the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. And Dylan, when you're ready, you can take it away. Actually, it looks like Coach McCook was standing by, but now is no longer. So hold off on that. As
well, there was going to be an interview, but it looks like things are getting a little bit chippy in the handshake line. As sometimes they tend to do that, so now there's...
Yeah, Coach kind of ran in there to break some things up, so... I don't want to take a break yet, but we'll wait to see when Coach gets out of that now skirmish of players at midfield.
Not quite a skirmish, more of a dust-up.
I wasn't trying to describe a big group of people coming together. Not necessarily a skirmish, but maybe just like a
brouhaha?
Sure, let's call it that. I don't know, a gathering. That could be a good term for it. But again, Shepherd wins in dominating fashion over Bloomsburg, which has kind of become the thing to expect. And the Rams are playing a PSAC team for the most part. Besides Cal and Kutztown, every other game has been all Shepherd this season. I see Dylan is standing with the head man now, it looks like, Coach McCook. And we will send it to Dylan, and he can take it away whenever he is ready down there on the field with Ernie McCook.
All right, Coach McCook, down here. You guys 9-0 after a big win here. What went right for your team today?
I think we executed just about in all three phases. I'm sure there's going to be things we're going to see on film that we're going to want to have done better. You know, we'll get after that. We're going to celebrate this win, where we're at in the season, you know, and then kind of identify what's forward for us. You know, it's going to be different now because we've clinched the Eastern Division right now. So we'll just figure out where it goes from here tomorrow. But, you know, it was a great win. Our kids are playing well. They're working together. Really pleased with where we're at.
And, of course, today was Senior Day. What's it mean to get that big win for all these seniors in their last regular season game here at home?
You always want to get that win for your seniors. I mean, everybody wants their seniors to go out with a win, feeling good about things. So, yes, it's really important. But, you know, it's important for us to represent our university, this athletic department, our football program, play together as a team and find ways to win.
All right, Coach McCook, thank you very much. Congrats on the win. Nick and Travis, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan, as Shepherd wins the East, as Coach McCook mentioned, and we will take a break, and then we return. Could be some interesting things here. Looks like Gannon just upset IUP, 43-36, so that could change. I mean, IUP still holds the lead in the PSAC West, but Gannon has had a great season all of a sudden, and Travis, we don't want to go to Gannon.
No, we don't. I appreciate them inviting us, but we're going to have to decline that invitation. I risked my life once trying to get up in that press box. But we saw that they had talent when we went up there. Yeah. They had the quarterback, the transfer from Ohio State. They also had the wide receiver, the transfer from Penn State. So they have been able to collect some talent up there at Gannon, and it seems this year that chemistry is really taken off.
Well, let's take a break, and then when we return, we'll have the Palace Lounge post-game show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
It's the Postgame Show, as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back here on the Palace Lounge post-game show. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith, as Travis and I try to figure out the PSAC West Division standings. But before we kind of talk about that for a little bit, the Palace Lounge is located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. So as of right now, it would be a three-way tie for the PSAC West, because Gannon has knocked off IUP. Slippery Rock already beat Gannon, but IUP beat Slippery Rock. So it comes down to tiebreakers, which I'm not certain exactly what those are to determine right now who wins the West. But, of course, there's next week still to be played. So a lot could change in 1 week if those things kind of just figure out themselves and somebody gets to 2 losses. But back to the game that we just watched here. A dominating win for Shepherd on Senior Day, Military Appreciation Day, 55-10 over Bloomsburg. Let's get some stats. We'll start the team stats. Shepherd had 34 first downs. Bloomsburg had just 11. The Rams had a total of over 400 yards today, over 500 yards today of total offense for the Rams. Held the ball for 35 minutes and 49 seconds. Only punted that one time from Ryan Barrick. We're 7 of 8 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. Did have a fumble in the game, but overall a dominating Shepherd win. Shepherd ran 70 plays today for 588 yards. That's 8.4 yards a play.
It's a good day at the office.
Not a bad day at all for the Rams. We'll now get into some individual stats, as we'll start with Shepherd. Offensively, passing yards, Tyson Bagent, 310 yards, 5 touchdowns, 32 of 36. The completion percentage continues to get better and better. This is his highest of the season, 88% on the day. one of the best performances, really, of Bajan's career. Edgerton also doing good things, 2 for 2, passing for 23 yards. For Bloomsburg, it was a tough day for KJ Riley, 6 of 17 for just 78 yards passing. He ran it 7 times for 16 yards, and now it's important to also check those Tyson Bajan rushing numbers. Not as much today, though. He only ran 2 times for 16 yards in another game where he doesn't get sacked. The offensive line held up.
They did a good job today, and we had questions early on in the season because Tyson Bajan was taking a lot of hits that we're not accustomed to seeing him take. But as the years rolled on, the offensive line's gotten more confidence, and also the emergence of that consistency in the run game has certainly helped them out in pass protection because you're taking a little bit of the steam out of that defensive front by beating them down with that run game. So that offensive line just really rising to the occasion and protecting their star quarterback.
And what's crazy, Travis, even though I think I know who is obviously the player of the game today, another player had a ridiculous game as well, as he usually does.
You're just going to throw it in there to make my decision that much tougher, huh?
12 carries for 120 yards for Ronnie Brown and 2 touchdowns. He's the all-purpose machine. 5 catches, 44 yards to go with that, and just 2 kick returns for 75 yards. So he had a long of 39 for Ronnie Brown today in the kick return game. Avon Holly gets 6 carries for 50 yards. Solid day for him. Blake Hartman, 6 carries, 43 yards. And Isaiah Russell had that touchdown late. He also ran the ball 2 times for 28 yards. For Bloomsburg, Caleb Monaco fighting through the injuries. 11 carries for 37 yards rushing and a touchdown. 2 catches for 7 yards for Monaco. John Ayers gets 5 carries for 11 yards. The leaders on the ground for Bloomsburg. And now we'll go into the receiving numbers. We'll start with Shepherd. Alfonso Foray led the way in yardage today in the passing game. 5 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Cameron Dorner was second for 5 catches, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Rodney Dorsey, 4 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. And Marlon Cook, 6 catches, 44 yards, and a score for the Shepherd receivers today. On the Bloomsburg side, Nas Jones, 3 catches, 43 yards. Good day for him. Batchelor had 1 catch for 28 yards, and Caleb Monaco, mentioned him earlier, with 2 catches for 7 yards once again. And then finally here, the defensive numbers leading the way for Shepherd in the tackle category. Who else but Dwayne Grantham? 7 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss. Emilio Pena had 5 tackles on the day. Keyshawn Haley, 4. Malik Holloway with 4 and 2 tackles for a loss. For Bloomsburg, Nate Capers led the way with 11 tackles. Donnell Hightower had 8. Ron Long had 7. Luke Jellis had 7 as well. And that does it for the post-game stats. Brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. And Travis will get into those awards for today's ball game. We will start with the electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. They're located at 360 Hack Wilson Way or online at Orsinis.com. Travis, what do you got for the electrifying play of the game?
Well, for my electrifying play of the game is going to go to Jerry Griffin Batchelor with his one-handed catch there in the third quarter for 28 yards. That was one of the longer passing plays for either team today, and that was just an incredible catch that he made over the middle of the field in traffic. Yet somehow on the very next play where the ball hits him in both hands, he wasn't able to bring that one in. But the one-handed catch, that's my electrifying play of the game.
Interesting going with the Bloomsburg Huskies, but really you think about it, Shepherd didn't make a whole lot of big plays, just consistent plays.
Yeah, just chunked all the way down the field.
So I'll agree with you on that. The Cody's Body Shop collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Body Shop, located 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. I think I know where you're going with this one, Travis.
I'm going to go with Brian Walker when he ran over Ryan D'Ambra in the third quarter. That's just giving up too much size. You have Brian Walker at 6'4", 250 pounds going up against D'Ambra, 6'1", 200 pounds. He did the best he could, but Brian Walker came out on the better end of that collision.
And then finally, our Bodwell Insurance Solutions Player of the Game, brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864. Going with the usual suspect?
Got to go with the usual suspect, Tyson Bagent, again going for over 300 yards, completing nearly 90% of his passes, and also 5 touchdowns. It's a pretty good senior day, also able to scramble for nearly 20 yards, so Tyson Bagent doing it all. And again, Ronnie Brown always makes that decision difficult. He's an exciting, dynamic player. Had another monster game today, but today I think Tyson Bagent has to walk away with the Player of the Game honors.
Yeah, I'm with you, Travis. You've only missed once this season. I think you missed on Dante Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 defensive touchdowns. Maybe Marlon Cook's 212 receiving yard day, but it's hard to pass up on number 2 for your Player of the Game. And today, I mean, just so ridiculous. If you complete 90% of your passes, essentially, and don't turn the ball over and throw 5 touchdowns, how are you not going to get the Player of the Game? So
there you go. That was my reasoning exactly right there.
Tyson Bagent, a great game. So before we conclude here on the Palace Lounge post-game show, I got a few things I want to go over. First of all, if you are still tuned in and want to head out to the Neon Moon Tavern for the Once a Ram, Always a Ram event going on there, great event there. You can bid on a Tyson Bagent game-worn jersey, signed jersey. So that's something cool you could win, but also just a great cause. So head out there if you have time, or if you're on your way there now, that's great as well. And then I want to shout out our crew today. Start with our cameraman, Daryl Miller, along with Braden Schaffner. Both those guys helping us out. Really appreciate that. Down on the sidelines, Dylan Bishop. Colin McLaughlin, our on-site producer, and Spencer Dupuis, who you'll hear from here in about 2 minutes. Back in the studio. Appreciate everybody helping us out. Of course, you as well, Travis. Thanks for doing your thing. And again, we won't be here for East Strasburg. Well, we wouldn't be here, but we won't be at East Strasburg due to 2 things. One, they don't have room for us, and number 2, we got a Martinsburg High School game that we are committed to at Bishop Ironton, with that game starting at noon on a Saturday, opposed to the typical 7 o'clock Friday night time. So that'll do it for us. And once again, your final score: Shepherd gets the win, 55-10 over Bloomsburg. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long here from Ram Stadium. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that
come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome into the studio for the Extra Point Scoreboard Show. I'm Spencer Dupuis. Shout out to Nick, Travis, Daryl Miller, Braden Schaffner, and Colin McLaughlin, along with Dylan Bishop out there at the game today. A big win for Shepherd, 55-10. They secure the PSAC East for the first time since joining the conference in 2019. Big win for them, 55-10. But as they mentioned, the upset in the PSAC as IUP goes down. Gannon gets the 43-36 victory over ranked IUP. That's going to shuffle some things up. We'll keep you updated all week on the Sports Mix 12-1 on Talk Radio WR and R 106.5 FM AM 740 in the Martinsburg area. Anywhere and then on TV 10 Comcast Channel 10 in Berkeley and Jefferson counties, anywhere in the world on the TV 10 Facebook page, as well as TalkRadioWRNR.com to listen live feature this week from 12 to 1 every day this next week. And then on Monday Night Mayhem, we'll be there from 6 to 8 down at the Neon Moon Tavern on Monday night. We'll hear from Coach McCook, Tyson Bajan, as well as another player getting ready to talk about today's win, Senior Day, what it meant to all of them, and get you ready for next week's game at East Stroudsburg, which we unfortunately won't be able to cover. And then, but if you're, as Nick said, you can stick around. If you're sticking around, if you're in the area, head out to the Neon Moon Tavern for Once a Ram, Always a Ram. I believe that begins at 4:30 today and runs until 8 p.m. Great cause out there, helping the family of former Shepherd offensive coordinator. But we'll look at some other scores around the PSAC. Kutztown looking to get the win over Millersville 20-6. That is yet to go final that I've seen. It's in the fourth quarter, but a likely victory for Kutztown. And it looks like East Stroudsburg in the third quarter has a 17-7 victory over Shippensburg. Lead over Shippensburg. And then 13th ranked Slippery Rock beats Clarion 31-0. Seton Hill beats Edinburgh 45-14. Cal U gets a 44-20 victory over Mercyhurst. Westchester 58 over Lock Havens 10. That's a final there. We'll take a look at the D2 top 25, see where things are at there. In those scores, we'll see some finals from today. We just mentioned Slippery Rock, IUP, Shepherd, and some games currently going on in the third quarter. Assumption, unranked Assumption, has a 14-13 lead over number 25 New Haven. Grand Valley State at number 1 has a 35-7 lead over Michigan Tech. That's in the third quarter. At the half, number 5 Ferris State, who Grand Valley State beat to drop them all the way down to 5, they have a 42-14 lead at halftime over Northern Michigan. In the third quarter, Davenport, ranked at number 24, has a 16-14 lead over number 20 Saginaw Valley in the third quarter as well. Looks like Virginia Union, ranked number 11, has a 14-7 lead over Chowan. In the second quarter, looks like number 23 Albany State 10-0 over Morehouse. Unranked Hillsdale has a 22-20 lead over number 9 Ashland in the second quarter. Also going on in the second quarter, unranked Minnesota State looks to knock off Sioux Falls, their 18th ranked team, 14-0, or 21-14 is the score in favor of Minnesota State. Games about to kick off is number 15 Benedict at Clark, Atlanta, and then also kicking off is number 4 Pittsburgh State at Central Oklahoma. That's currently about to kick off, along with number 19 Nebraska Kearney hosting number 14 Northwest Missouri. That should be a good ranked matchup there as well. The final 3 p.m. kickoff game has number 10 Colorado Mines at Western Colorado. 4 p.m. games, you got 2 on the slate. Number 17 Harding hosting Northwestern Oklahoma. And the other 4 p.m. game, number 16 Newberry hosting Limestone. A 5 p.m. contest for you has West Florida, the number 8 team, hosting unranked West Alabama. At 6 p.m., number 21, Indianapolis hosting Missouri S&T. 7 p.m. game, number 7, Delta State at Mississippi College. And then there is 2 9 p.m. games tonight. Number 22, Texas A&M Kingsville at Central Washington. And then the biggest game later on that's yet to start is number 2, Angelo State at unranked Simon Fraser at 9 p.m. as well. We'll take a look over at West Virginia University right now. They're playing a top 25 team in the undefeated number 7 TCU Horned Frogs. And West Virginia was sticking around for a little bit, but here in the fourth quarter, 9:11 left to go, last check. TCU has a 34-24 lead over the Mountaineers. Marshall and Coastal Carolina will get things going at 7 p.m. That's on NFL Network. But if you want to listen to the WVU game, you can tune over to Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM, AM 740. You can hear the call with Tony Caridi on the call. Now to the rest of the top 25. We had an upset brewing, but number 2, Ohio State comes back. They take a 23-21 lead over number 13, Penn State. Penn State was leading in that game for all but the last few minutes, as it appears. OSU just scored a touchdown. The extra point was good to take the 23-21 lead. The only other ranked matchup going on is there is an upset. Notre Dame, who's had a up and down year, as they lost to Marshall after losing to Ohio State. They're up 38-17 over 16-ranked Syracuse. So Syracuse reign in the top 25 will most likely come to an end after this week if the score holds up with 7:47 left in the ballgame. Game's getting going at 3:30 p.m. CBS, number 1, Georgia going against hosting unranked Florida, also at 3:30 on FS1. Number 8, Oregon at California. At 3:30 on Fox, a battle of 2 ranked teams. Number 22, Kansas State hosting number 9, Oklahoma State. 3:30 as well is Louisville hosting number 10, Wake Forest. 3:30 and on ABC as number 17, Illinois at Nebraska. At 3:30 on ESPN, number 20, Cincinnati at UCF. At 4 p.m. on the SEC Network, 25th ranked South Carolina hosting Missouri. And at 7 p.m. ESPN, number 19, Kentucky at number 3, Tennessee. That should be a good matchup from Neyland Stadium. And at 7 p.m. on the Pac-12 Network, number 10, USC at Arizona. 7:30 on ABC, number 4, Michigan hosting Michigan State there, the battle for the state of Michigan. Then 7:30 on the SEC Network, Texas A&M hosting number 15, Ole Miss. And at 8 p.m. on the ACC Network, number 21, North Carolina hosting Pitt. And we'll wrap things up tonight, 10:30, the West Coast game for the Pac-12. Number 12, UCLA hosting Stanford, 10:30 on ESPN. But again, today, Shepherd knocks off Bloomsburg 55-10. They take the East Division title for the first time since joining the PSAC. They are in the PSAC championship game, which will be in 2 weeks. It'll be at the site of the West Division winner. That's due to the way the PSAC does the championship games, but there's a 3-way tie for the PSAC West right now. As a big game today, Gannon knocks off number 12 IUP 43-36. Again, we will talk all about that next week on the Sports Mix. You can tune in 12 to 1 on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10, on Comcast Channel 10 in Berkeley and Jefferson County, and on TV 10 on Facebook. But that'll do it for me. I want to shout out our crew again today. Daryl Miller running camera, Braden Schaffner running the camera from the end zone, Dylan Bishop on the sidelines running camera, as well as interviewing Coach McCook and getting some information about injuries. And then Colin McLaughlin, the executive producer on site, Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith. I'm Spencer Dupuis saying so long, everybody. Have a great rest of your afternoon after a big Ram victory as they win the PSAC East Division title. We'll talk to you next week. You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, and WVU Medicine. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd Rams football. All rights reserved.